Right, hello, hello. Okay, I'm gonna put this on here. Oh, my face is so itchy. Okay. Impromptu live stream. Alright, so we're just gonna kind of give this a little bit of time because this is an impromptu one. Hopefully people will show up. Oop. Let's see. You're having some technical difficulties. Oh. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, so while I'm waiting for people to join, like always, I'm going to be now tweeting out the link to this stream. So, oops, oh my god, you guys. So, just give me a second here, okay? Give me a second while we set up. Okay, hopefully that's not gonna tumble. Alright, we have 3 people here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining the live stream, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, that will really help me out. Yeah, okay, so gonna be tweeting out the stream. Impromptu live stream. Oh, we have 4 happening now. Join us. All right. Okay, I shared the link. Troller noob. Hey. All right, we got 6 people. Again, if you're just joining the stream, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, I'd really, really appreciate it. Beloved one. Hey, Steffi. What's up, beloved one? So I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes still, waiting for some people. No liked. 3. There's 6 of you. Come on, there should be six thumbs up. Come on. Okay, I'm putting on my glasses. But yeah, impromptu live stream happening currently, right now, mainly because, no, now only 4. How are you, dude? I'm good. Part of the reason, though, I wanted to do this live stream was because I kind of wanted to have an open discussion about the current, controversy with Bruno Mars and, him being sort of, deemed as a culture vulture because he's, you know, supposedly culturally appropriating. So that's kind of the conversation I wanted to have, and I originally was just going to make a video about my personal thoughts, but instead I thought it would be interesting if I could do a live stream of it so I can kind of have a back and forth with whoever is watching, because it's definitely an interesting topic to discuss, because I think there's so many nuances and complicated issues among the larger umbrella of what it means to culturally appropriate and cultural appropriation. So yeah, that's mainly why I wanted to do this live stream. I've actually I don't know if you guys have watched the what are they called? There's this like there's this what's it called, video. There are these 2 videos that have been like circulating online by, I believe they're called like the grape. Oh, okay, wait, I will look them up because I really do want to get their names right. Let me look up Bruno Mars, because now it's like the first thing you see. Okay, they're this group called the Grapevine, and I watched their 2-part videos. I know there's been like this like 2-minute clip that's been going viral on Twitter, but I watched both of those videos, and then I've watched other videos about, you know, cultural appropriation. So I mean, in regards to Bruno Mars supposedly culturally appropriating from others people. So I just kind of wanted to get your guys' take on it. But let's see, I'm gonna catch up on some comments right now. Troller noob, are you a boy or a girl? I'm a girl. Beloved one, I'll join in as soon as I finish this paper. It's due at midnight. Ooh, good luck. Dean Classic. Ooh, okay. I know Dean Classic loves, like, you know, those classic, iconic legends that I love. He said, Hiya, I don't care about what people say about Bruno Mars. He's keeping good, funky music alive. Agreed. Beloved one, facts. Troller noob, do you know Dia Way? No, I don't. Nino Liberte Fio's For Wakanda. I watched Black Panther and that movie was really, really good. Alright, so I'm just gonna kinda love you BTE. So I'm just going to sort of start talking about, oh, by the way, thanks. I'm just gonna sort of start talking a little bit about my personal thoughts about the whole Bruno Mars and cultural appropriation. So for me, when I watched the Grammy Awards, I actually was overseas. And I remember when I saw Bruno Mars win for Album of the Year, I remember immediately thinking, oh no, he's gonna get some flack for this. And personally, you know, I didn't listen to all of those albums. I still have not listened to all of those albums that were nominated this year for Album of the Year. But I thought that Kendrick Lamar was going to win because I felt like it was Kendrick's time and I felt like he was overdue for a Grammy, Best Album of the Year. And I personally was surprised that, I mean, okay, wait, I take that back. As surprised as I was that Bruno Mars won, I was also, like, not surprised because he, you know, I think Bruno Mars, genre-wise, is making music that appeals to a larger audience and is safer to play on radio stations, like, not even just within America, but, like, globally speaking. Now, that when Bruno Mars got on stage to accept the award for his Album of the Year, I know he specifically referenced and stated, like, who he was drawing inspiration from. And I know he referenced Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Babyface and Teddy Riley and maybe some other producers. But I don't know how to say this, but not necessarily like my issue, but when I was watching the two-part videos of, you know, from the Grapevine about how they believe that, how some of them, not all of them, but how some of them believe that Bruno Mars is culturally appropriating from black music. For me, my main question really is, where do you draw the line between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation? Okay, I'm gonna pause here because Nino Liberte Fios made a comment. I think he's appropriating black music the right way, even though 24 Magic is kinda karaoke. All in all, Kendrick should have gotten that Grammy, but there's always next year. Yeah, I personally believe, like, there's going to come, hopefully, crossing my fingers, that there's going to come a time and day when Kendrick Lamar is going to get that Album of the Year. However, I think as mad as people may be right now at Bruno Mars for appropriating black music, whether or not that is true, for me, I feel like that intense passion and anger and resentment that people may have towards Bruno Mars right now, I think that should be more channeled towards the larger system that is the music industry and the people who are part of that industry. For me, I think an artist like Bruno Mars has the support from his label to be played by different radio stations across the US. He has the financial backing from his label to do that and to tour and do all these different appearances and TV specials, blah, 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 that a black artist at least today, just does not have. Do I think it's fair? No, I don't think that's fair. However, and yes, Bruno Mars is definitely benefiting from that system, but I think we should be channeling I think we should be like channeling our anger or disappointment and resentment to that specific system, if that makes any sense. Another thing that I kind of wanted to bring up too is I think the Bruno Mars situation is the Bruno Mars topic of conversation about like him culturally appropriating is particularly interesting because he isn't a white person. He's a person of color, but at the same time he's not black. So there are definite like there's a completely different like nuance and conversation that has to be had. I know for me, I can't like I don't know if you guys who are watching know like my personal like racial background, but for me, I'm full Filipino. I'm not black. And I know Bruno Mars isn't black either. He's like I think like half Puerto Rican, half Filipino. So I can't really speak on the Puerto Rican side of Bruno Mars, but what I can say in regards to the Philippines historic and cultural background is that, you know, the Philippines was colonized by Spain way back in the day. So there's tons of Spanish influence within that culture. And additionally, the Philippines is also colonized by the United States. And when they were colonized by the United States, they were therefore heavily influenced by Western culture. So, because of that, I think growing up, Bruno Mars couldn't help but be influenced by that kind of music. And another thing to take into consideration too is like when Bruno Mars was younger, artists like Michael Jackson and artists like Prince and, you know, Janet and Bobby Brown and like, hell, even throw in like Whitney Houston, like those artists were the popular artists and they were the ones that more than likely a young Bruno Mars was like listening and jamming to back in the day. So for me, it's understandable why he would be very much inspired by that music and maybe would grow up to want to create that sound because that's the sound that he grew up in. Let me see, you guys are leaving some comments. So, Dean Classic. Elvis is the true culture vulture, not Bruno Mars. Besides, the greatest entertainer of all time took heavily from the likes of Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, so let's just chill. Yes, I totally agree with that. So, Dean Classic, you made an excellent point because I don't know, like, I don't want to discredit any of those people that were in, you know, that Grapevine video because I'm just, you know, I'm a huge Michael fan, so I know a little something about Michael. I don't know how big of a fan those other people are or how much they did their research on Michael, but because they loved citing Michael Jackson so much, and again, this is coming from a huge Michael Jackson fan, we would be naive and silly to not talk about the fact that Michael Jackson was heavily influenced not just single-handedly by black people or black art, but he was also influenced by white art and, you know, that culture, like Dean Classic points out, like Fred Astaire and a Gene Kelly. I mean, if you watch the, what was it? The Smooth Criminal music video, the long form version of it that was in Moonwalker. I mean, that literally is like the Michael Jackson version of Vincent Minnelli's Bandwagon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You can look it up. Like, the guy who's in it, I believe it's, it might be Fred Astaire who's in it, but the person who was the main character in that Bandwagon Vincent Minnelli directed film literally is dressed how Michael was dressed in the Smooth Criminal video. It's same sort of style, same sort of, like, costuming, same sort of, atmospheric vibe. And I don't know. It's just it's such a complicated um it's such a complicated issue and discussion, because then that makes me want to question, okay, well, like, when black people, and I think this was brought up again. Oh yeah, and Dean Classic is also saying along with Bob Fosse and Charlie Chaplin. 100% correct. And you know what the thing is too? Michael Jackson would be the very first person to tell you like who his influences were, and he's not only going to cite Jackie Wilson and James Brown, but he's going to cite Charlie Chaplin, who he literally dressed as when he did the Smile music video. He's going to cite Bob Fosse. He's gonna cite Gene Kelly. He's gonna cite Fred Astaire. So I think when we talk about appropriation, at least in the art realm, it becomes a really sensitive and muddy sort of topic, because a lot of art builds on top of one another. So at what point do we say, where do we draw the line between inspiration and simply taking? I'm gonna pause where I'm talking. I'm gonna read some comments here. Okay, Kid Locke said, hey, Luis Barba, I finally came to another stream on time. Hey, Nino Liberte Fiaz, Bruno is doing it the right way. He's showing respect and acknowledging his influence. Unlike Justin Timberlake, Miley, Katy Perry, he used the culture to pat their wallets. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, for me, I think, like, you know, like, a Justin Timberlake is someone who heavily benefited from black culture. And I think that, like, Nino Liberte Fiaz pointed out, like, the difference between someone like Bruno Mars and someone like a Justin Timberlake is that Bruno Mars is not trying to say, like, I'm the person who originated this genre of music, or I'm the person who came up with this type of dancing. Like, he's not saying that. Like, he specifically cites numerous times, like, where he's getting that inspiration from. And then aside from that, too, at least, like, when it comes to how Bruno Mars, like, again, like, I'm not, like, I don't, like, stand for Bruno Mars, and I don't 100% follow him, but from what, like, I can glean, like, impassively, like, following him, a lot of, like, how Bruno Mars, like, lives his life outside of, like, his stage persona, like, I really don't, it's not like he's trying to, like, talk black, like, it's not like he's trying to talk black or dress black or anything like that, unlike people like a Miley Cyrus or a Katy Perry, or even, like, hell, like the Kardashians, like, who, you know, dress a certain way that a lot of, like, black women have been dressing for a long time, yet, like, those women are, like, deemed as fashionable, and, like, black women are deemed as, they're looked down upon because they're dressing that way. So I don't know. Yeah, it's just complicated. Okay, beloved one, how exactly is he appropriating black culture and music? The reason why a lot of people say that he's appropriating black culture and black music is because a lot, specifically looking at the 24K album, a lot of the music on that album is very much inspired by funk and the new jack swing that was taking place in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, and a lot of, like, the R&B, soul, pop genre music that was, again, really popular in the 80s and early 90s. And because he, like, again, this is my interpretation of this topic, because he is not black, people therefore are saying that he, like, I don't know, again, it's complicated. It's like people are saying, like, because he's not black and he's making that black sounding music, therefore he is culturally appropriating. Again, that's just my interpretation of the conversation. Kid Locks, I just got here. Who exactly is appropriating black culture? Beloved one, Bruno Mars, supposedly. Dean Classic, I read this one, along with Bob Fosse and Charlie Chaplin. Kid Locks, also, I think appropriating culture is so stupid. We want everyone to be diverse and not exclude others, but then we get mad when other people try to take part in cultures that aren't theirs. True. Nino Liberte Fiaz, he copied and pasted 90s style to his videos, the over-exaggerated blackness, big chains, perms, and dancing. Kid Locks, at Nino, but he was referencing In Living Color. Beloved one, I see, but I don't think he did it intentionally. Dean Classic, agreed. I think Kardashians are a cancer on humanity, but that's just me. Kid Locks, wait, Bruno isn't black. Nino Liberte, Kid Locks, have you heard Perm? It's ridiculous, LOL. Kid Locks, I knew he was Filipino. Kid Locks, yes, my least favorite song. Yeah, I don't really like Perm so much either. I feel like that specific song really tries to tap into the James Brown funk style, but I don't know. It's just interesting. I think for me, the the issue of race, especially after having traveled overseas for a month, the conversation of race and the issue of race is so intense, and it's so different here in the United States in comparison to other parts of the world. And I think the the growing problem as America as a country gets older is there are going to be, for better or worse, a lot more people who aren't going to be 100% black or 100% white or 100% this or 100% that. Statistics have shown that there's expected to be a lot more brown people, and there's expected to be a lot more biracial people, because that's just the trend that's happening. The world is going to be a lot more culturally diverse, and a person will likely be more culturally diverse instead of just being like one thing. So when these people, you know, grow up and they start listening to music, or they start making music, or they start making their own art, or consuming their own art, consuming different kinds of art, like for those people who aren't 100% black, or for those people who aren't 100% white, where do these people, where can these people go? Like, how, where are they supposedly expected to align themselves? I don't know. I mean, like, for me, I think I'm feeling a certain type of way because all my life, again, I'm not claiming to be black, but all my life I've definitely been assumed to a certain level to be ethnically ambiguous, because even though I am full 100% Filipino, I don't necessarily look 100% Filipino because I have very kinky curly hair, sort of like a Bruno Mars, and also my skin isn't as light as other Filipino people, and because, you know, low-key my skin isn't like as pale and my hair isn't straight, long, and black, like, I've felt some sort of levels of racism within my own culture because I don't meet those certain levels of expectation. But aside from that, I think so with that, I think the reason why I'm also feeling a certain type of way is because, like, I've made it very loud and proud and clear that I love, like, artists like a Michael Jackson and like a Prince and Stevie Wonder and Whitney Houston and Janet and Beyonce. Like, I love those artists, and they are black artists. So for me, when this Bruno Mars controversy really started to pick up, for me, I kind of felt like, am I not allowed to like black music? Like, that's why I started, like, I think the last thing I really want to do is offend anyone and make someone feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, I don't want to be policed in what I can and cannot like just because of who I am inherently. I don't think that's fair. Let's see here. Kid Locks, he's not even singing, he's just yelling, and it doesn't come off the way I think he wanted it to. Beloved One, I don't think he's appropriating anything, but just good ass music. Kid Locks, one agreed. Nino Liberte Fiaz, Beloved One, he is, but he's doing it the right way, unlike other people. Dean Classic, if people let Justin pass, then I don't want to hear about Bruno. SMH people. Kid Locks, I love being Filipino. Sinigang is the best. Nino Liberte Fiaz, look, let's be honest, before 24K Magic, Bruno was fine. Then I heard it and I was like, it's cool, but he's trying too hard on some tracks. Beloved One, how is he trying too hard? I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I'll be honest. When I first heard no, wait, what was the first song? Like, the first, like, oh, this is a very inherent, like, funk sounding, like this sounds like something that James Brown would have done back in the day, was Uptown Funk. And for me, again, my personal experience is when I first heard it, like I definitely felt like it was catchy, but again, knowing my music history, I knew sort of where he was drawing influence from. So I wasn't like blown away by it as much as other people were blown away by it. And I think, you know, the larger problem here is, without trying to sound pretentious, the larger problem here is, I think, as artists like Bruno Mars and like other artists down the line who aren't black but most definitely are influenced by black music, as they start making their own music, it's sort of like those people are now going to become the faces of genres that are inherently black, and it's not being fair to other black artists who are still making that kind of music and arguably might be even making it better than them. But at the same time, it's like, to single-handedly blame those particular artists, I don't think it's fair. I really, really don't. Let's see. Beloved One. Exactly. Oh wait, Kid Locks. I think you guys are trying to make a big deal out of something that doesn't need to be. Beloved One. Exactly. Kid Locks. Why do people care so much? Nino Liberte Fiaz. One, he's trying too hard on tracks to get across specific blend of blackness. To some, it falls flat. I think the reason why this is an important issue is because this conversation is centered on race. And what does it mean to be black, and what does it mean to be white, and the cultural and social implications that come with being categorized as black or white or in between, if you are a person of color but not black. Like what does that mean? And I think the reason why the Bruno Mars cultural appropriation conversation, for me at least, is so interesting is, unlike these different topics of, unlike the different conversations of cultural appropriation where Justin Timberlake is at the center of it, or like a Miley Cyrus is at the center of it, or like an Iggy Azalea or a Justin Bieber, like this is different because those artists are white. That's just a fact. And Bruno Mars is not white, yet at the same time he's making black sounding music, and he is to a certain extent benefiting off of that. I think that's, for me, that's why it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't this conversation can go in so many different ways. It's just a really interesting one. I mean, I've been kind of like low-key watching different videos and different people's takes on it, and there are some videos where I'm like, I 100% agree, and then there's other videos that I watch where I'm like, I don't know. Nino Liberte Fiaz. Me personally, I have no problem with Bruno doing black music. He's done it before with great results, but some songs on 24K is just, I like Bruno. He got soul. Yeah, agreed. And honestly, for me, like, again, because I personally love artists like Michael and Prince, like, I love for me, it's like, I love the original. Why would I want to listen to, like, the remake? You know what I mean? It's like, you know when people watch movies and then, like, they watch the original and they're like, oh god, I loved the original, and then go to watch like the sequel to it and they're like, ugh, but the original was so much better. That's for me kind of how I feel with Bruno Mars. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like, okay, like, I mean, like, I like Versace on the Floor, but then I remember after the first time listening to it, I remember thinking, like, first of all, wow, this sounds like something Michael Jackson would have totally done, and he would have done such a great job. And then two, I remember thinking, oh, imagine if Michael Jackson did Versace on the Floor. Like, for me, I just, even to this day, like, I listen more to those kinds of artists than like artists on the radio today, including Bruno Mars. Nicholas Soto. Look at Eminem. He came into a genre that was dominated by black artists and blew up. He definitely does it a lot better than a lot of mainstream rappers out there today. Yeah, the Eminem, I know Eminem has been in the center of like cultural appropriation as well. For me, I don't know too much about like Eminem and like his like what he has and hasn't done, so I don't really want to speak on that, but interesting. I mean, like, I get why you would bring him up too. Okay, Dean Classic. Haha, I imagine the same thing. Yeah, and like, no shade, but like, Michael Jackson probably would have done it better. Just saying. Stefan. I hope I remember you were like, it's either Steven or Stefan. I'm pretty sure it's Stefan. I hope this doesn't sound too weird, but can you turn your head to show your tattoo? A friend of mine has a similar one. I want to show her to compare. Thanks. Oh, this isn't a tattoo. This is actually a birthmark. But a lot of people think that this is a tattoo, but this is actually a birthmark. But no worries. Doesn't sound weird. A lot of people, specifically a lot of like younger kids, they are so fascinated by this. And a lot of times, like, I have my nephew who's like 1 year old. Every time I see him, he always starts to touch my birthmark, and he gets so fascinated with it. And I remember one time I was subbing for my friend. I was subbing for my friend's dance class, and when I walked in, one of the first things that the little girl said to me was, "What happened to your face?" I thought she was like talking about my face, but she was specifically talking about my birthmark. But yeah, no worries. A lot of people ask about it. Sven, you got it right. Okay, Stefan. I'm pretty sure it's Stefan. Stefan, wow, it's very beautiful though. Thanks. And actually, fun little fact to sort of digress from the main topic of conversation, but my mom has, for the longest time, wanted me to get rid of this birthmark. But, you know, I've been like, nope, I want to keep it. I think it's really, really cool. So I'm glad that some of you guys, at least, think it's cool, too. But, yeah, I like my birthmark. Yeah, but, Stefan, when are you planning to review episode 7 of Versace? Dean Classic, keep it. It's you. Thanks. I have no intention of taking this out. As far as when I'm going to react and review Versace, when I'm done filming this, I'm probably going to watch it, and I will film my reaction, and then hopefully it will be up by tomorrow. So, expect that video tomorrow. But yeah, that's sort of, I don't know. What else do you guys have to say about the whole Bruno Mars cultural appropriation thing? Because again, I was gonna actually make a video kind of just talking about my personal thoughts regarding the issue, but I wanted to open the conversation to other people who can chime in real time, so it could be sort of a back and forth between me and anyone who's watching, because again, it's just like it's such a complicated issue. And for me, again, as someone who I don't like, I'm not black and I'm not white, but I'm still a person of color who definitely like unabashedly loves black music, like, where do the people like me fit in? I think that's why I'm so interested by this conversation. And you know, the thing is too, like, for me at least, when I first started liking like Michael Jackson, and I first started liking like artists like Janet and Prince and Whitney and Stevie, like, I didn't specifically say to myself like, you know, I really like this music because it's made by a black person, or, you know, I like this kind of music because it's not made by a white person. Like, and I was like 8 years old when I first became obsessed with Michael. So for me, it's like I wasn't thinking about the implications that like the artist race and like my race would have in me like having an affinity towards it, but as I've gotten older, I'm starting to become more aware that there are social and racial and cultural implications that come with it, but it's definitely, I mean, it's a complicated issue. Nino Liberte Fias. People say Bruno is appropriating because he always dressing up like Prince and whatever, doing a karaoke type remix of their songs. People need to relax. He could be like Miley Cyrus. I mean, for me, I really don't know, like, again, because, like, I don't follow Bruno Mars, like, heavily, so I'm interested to hear, like, in what specific way is he dressing like Prince? Because when I think of Prince, like, I think of, I mean, first of all, there's depending on what era of Prince you're talking about, there's going to be a very different aesthetic and look to Prince. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, are we talking like Purple Rain era where he was wearing obviously like lots of purple and he was wearing like lace and ruffles? Or are we talking like Sign of the Times era where he was wearing more of like this like muted kind of orange and I don't even know. Like, I mean, there's just, like, he played with, like, Prince played with fashion throughout his career. I don't think there's one single definitive look. So, yeah. I'd be interested to know in what way is Bruno specifically, like, looking like Prince. Beloved one. I'm gonna like and listen to whoever I want and whatever I gravitate towards. Yeah, same. Same. Nicholas Soto, but one cannot simply dress like Prince. To me, that is not humanly possible. Just saying. I agree with that too. I mean, not many people can pull off assless chaps. Dean Classic, I bet Bruno wouldn't be invited back to the Super Bowl if he pulled down Taylor Swift's blouse. Yeah, I agree with you there, Dean. I think only white people can get away with doing something like that. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and again, too, like, I don't know how many of you in the live chat are white, but I still think to a certain extent, like, white people, whether they're consciously doing this or not, they kind of look at all people, they kind of tend to group people of color under, like, a large umbrella, and then they may, like, offshoot from there, but how people of color see other different people of color, I still think is very different from how white people perceive people of color in general. So, I'll just leave it at that. Nino Liberte Fias, whenever he does tributes to artists, he dresses like them, acts like them, and tries to sing like them. So, my comment to that, though, Nino Liberte Fias, would be, I feel like, you know, like, that's what you would do, though, in paying tribute to, an artist. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I mean, when, you know, I know he's black, but when Chris Brown did his tribute to Michael Jackson, he was literally dressed in the Thriller outfit. I mean, I don't think, like, I understand, like, I don't even know if, like, Bruno Mars had a specific performance where he paid tribute to Michael and dressed up like Michael, but I know, like, at the Grammy Awards, yes, I know he dressed up like Prince, but again, it's because in the context of that performance, he was paying tribute to Prince, so I understand why he would do something like that. But I mean, outside of that context, when Bruno Mars is being Bruno Mars and he's performing Bruno Mars songs, like, I really don't think in any, like, fashion sense at least, he's really paying homage to Prince. I mean, if anything, like, he is more paying homage to, like, the fashion that was really popular during the, like, late 80s, early 90s. But yeah. Beloved one. But that's what you do when you do a tribute to someone. Yes, I agree. Nicholas Soto, please keep Justin Timberlake away from the Super Bowl halftime show. He went out there and did that hologram of Prince. Just thinking about it gets me triggered. Ha. Yeah, keep Justin Timberlake away from, like, anything Michael and Prince and, like, Jackson, period. I don't know. Justin Timberlake specifically has this, like, weird fascination with the Jackson family where he, like, he tries to, like, get in close association with them, but then, like, he will also kind of, like, backtrack. It's weird. he does that with black culture in general. But Nakeeb has no person of color singers would exist without Prince and Michael. Yeah, true. And additionally, I don't think Prince and Michael would exist without the people, the people of color singers that came before them. Again, like a James Brown and Jackie Wilson, and like people from Motown, like Stevie Wonder, and not even just like black artists specifically, but again, Michael and Prince, they drew inspiration from artists outside of their own race. I mean, and the thing that always fascinates me when people say, like, well, when they reference Prince and they reference Michael, and you know what, I'm gonna throw in Whitney Houston there too, because this pertains to her a lot, is people tend to forget that there was a time in each of those people's careers when they were deemed as not being quote unquote black enough. I just think it's interesting that like now, like 20, 30 years after the fact, and now that all three of them are like dead, all of a sudden people are like, oh yes, praise, praise, praise. But there, don't forget that there was a time when these three people, they weren't performing black enough for the black community. I just like, again, like I think that's in and of itself, that's a whole completely different topic. But yeah. Nakeeb, oh wait, I already read that. Nicholas Soto, Nakeeb, don't forget Selena, Nakeeb Haas. In terms of Billboard, though, Michael Jackson made it possible for every person of color to perform. In America, Nakeeb Haas, yeah, I get you, Nakeeb Haas, but I mean just the charts. Nakeeb Haas, no Selena without Michael because of skin color. Live and Let Live, Dean Classic said. Nino LaBer's Fios, Justin Timberlake is a culture vulture. Dean Classic, and honestly, Michael and Prince are the north and south poles of all popular music of today, so let's just relax. Yeah, I think, again, like, people, I mean, they were also doing this during the height of Prince and Michael's careers, like, in the 80s, too, but Michael and Prince are still fairly different. Like, I think, you know, they do have some of their similarities, but they're still fairly different. Let's see. Soham Desai, hello? Hello, Soham Desai. Yeah, I mean, Michael, again, achieved a certain level of success. Like, okay, artists like Michael Jackson, Prince, Janet, Whitney, and then I'll throw in like, yeah, I'll just leave it at those four. I was gonna include Madonna because she can be a part of this discussion, but you know, she's not black. But those artists specifically achieved a certain level of success that I don't think can be attained anymore, given the way that the business of entertainment is structured today. I think for me personally, as successful as like someone like Beyonce can be, as successful as someone like a Kendrick Lamar can be, or insert said artists here, for me, they will never attain the same level of wide-reaching like influence and success that those particular artists did in their peak and in their time. And when I say time, I mean like 80s to early 90s. And that's, for me, because everything in how we consume our entertainment, whether that is music or movies or television, it is just so fragmented now because of the internet and social media. So, Nina Liberte Fios, Prince used to mop the floors of the studio just to get studio time. He earned his keep the hard way. Why was Michael so famous in the world, though I don't see Bruno, Prince, or anyone ever being that famous? Well, I mean, the reason why I think Michael Jackson was so famous is when, I think, mainly because Michael, he struck gold and was at this perfect, he struck gold when music videos started to be the happening thing, you know, and he is the reason why music videos are sort of made and looked at in the way that they are. Like, before Michael Jackson, music videos used to be just an artist kind of like singing in front of a green screen and la-di-da-di-da. But when Michael Jackson came along, okay, like, this is after Off the Wall, he's going into like his Thriller era now. When Michael Jackson was entering that Thriller era, and the music videos were just starting to become a thing, he knew, and again, Michael Jackson having an interest in musicals and watching people like Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and like being obsessed with things like West Side Story, he saw an opportunity for himself to make his music come to life in a way that music videos weren't being used up until that point. He wanted to use the vehicle of the music video as sort of like a short film, a mini musical for each of his own individual songs. He wanted to use the music video platform to tell visual stories. And when he started doing that, and MTV started to become really, really popular, that's when Michael Jackson, for me, I believe, started to blow up globally, because now not only is Michael Jackson not only being like heard on the radio stations, and also radio frequencies changed during that time too, because now the FM reach means that it has radio stations before were divided in a very like limiting way, but then the FM frequency started around that time too. So Michael Jackson therefore had the opportunity to not only reach audiences, like reach more audiences like through audio form, but now Michael Jackson was reaching audiences through like a visual form too. And then you have to take into consideration too that once MTV started to really pop up here in America, like all these other different like copycat iterations of MTV started popping up in like different parts of the world. Like in Europe, they had sort of their own version of MTV, and different parts of Asia, they had their own sort of versions of MTV. So because of that, Michael Jackson's music videos, again, he is the top artist for me still. He is the person who really mastered the art form of what a music video can be. He's being played on rotation consistently all the time, not only here but globally. So when that happened, you know, he just had more exposure during that time, and it was still during a time when the business wasn't as fragmented as it is now. I'll just leave it at that. I feel like I could keep going, but I'll just leave it at that. Beloved One, perfect timing. Nino Libertad. Michael was famous because he was the perfect storm. Beloved One, exactly. Nino Liberté Fiaz at Beloved One. He had soul for black people, safe for whites, and he was relatable. Yeah, that's a really good point that you make too. Ironically, someone, I think it was that girl, the one that's being, she's kind of going viral because of the Bruno Mars cultural appropriation conversation, but she brought up an interesting point about how Prince never won Album of the Year. And, I think as far as I know, Prince was nominated for Album of the Year twice, and that was for Purple Rain and for Sign of the Times. And I can at least say, the year that Prince was nominated for Album of the Year with Purple Rain, he lost to another black artist, and that black artist was Lionel Richie. However, the difference between an artist like Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson, and the difference between like those two artists and Prince, is that, especially during that time, Prince was seen as being a very radical, out there, crazy, like not safe for parents artist, okay? Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a song on Purple Rain called Darling Nikki, and because that song was like seen as being so explicit, that's the reason why like I think it was Tipper Gore, I believe. She like complained to a council, I think in like DC, and said that this music isn't safe for kids, and that's the reason why you had like, I don't even know if they have this anymore, but like back when CDs were still a thing, that's the reason why you would have the parental advisory sticker on CDs, is because of that particular song by Prince called Darling Nikki. And because Prince wasn't seen as like a family-friendly artist, at the end of the day, like, that's why he didn't win Album of the Year. I'm sure race did play a part in it, but it was also because, like, Prince as a person was just really radical. Same goes for, like, I mean, that same girl in that video points out, like, how come Bobby Brown never won an Album of the Year? How come New Edition never won Album of the Year? Bobby Brown, he was also seen as a radical person during his heyday. I mean, listen, when Whitney Houston got with Bobby Brown, it was the princess teams up with the bad boy. Bobby Brown had a reputation for being a bad boy, okay? And yes, again, race may play a part in it, but also at the time, Bobby Brown was known for like peeing on cops' cars and like getting drunk and doing all this crazy stuff. So no matter how influential that music may have been during its time, they were never going to award an artist like Bobby Brown Album of the Year. So I just wanted to clear that out. Let's see. Dean Classic. I lived in Africa for most of my childhood. Michael Jackson's everywhere. I literally never heard of Prince, Sinatra, and co. until I came here. MJ is another level. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Like, when I went overseas and I was talking to some of like the people in the Philippines, like I will ask them, do you know who Beyonce is? And as much as this hurt my soul, they would say like, I don't know who Beyonce is. I asked them, do you know who Michael Jackson is? Mind you, Michael Jackson died in 2009, okay? It's almost been 10 years. This little kid knows who Michael Jackson is. So that in and of itself just goes to show like how wide-reaching his influence was, because, you know, Michael Jackson is still to this day very marketable. And I mean, to kind of circle it back, Bruno Mars, at the end of the day, he's more marketable than someone like a Kendrick Lamar and someone like a Childish Gambino or a Jay-Z. Like, I asked the same girl, I was like, do you know who Bruno Mars is? Oh, loves Bruno Mars. Do you know who Kendrick Lamar is? No. Never heard of Kendrick Lamar, never heard of Childish Gambino, never heard of Jay-Z. And while it may be true that rap is the predominant genre here in the United States, I still think that pop is the overruling genre globally. Yeah. Okay. Jan. Awesome read on Prince. He was prolific as Jackson too, just kind of had his hands behind the scene too. Absolutely. I mean, like, that in and of itself, like, again, is a completely different, like, conversation. Like, whenever people, like, compare Michael and Prince, like, one of the things they'll say is, like, well, like, Prince played all his instruments and Michael didn't play any instruments, and, like, you know, that's a huge difference there, and, like, their performance styles are so different, too, whereas, like, Prince was more spontaneous, and Michael was very, like, choreographed and detailed. Like, he wants to know, he will perform the same show multiple times, whereas, like, Prince, you can go to a Prince concert 10 different times and you will see 10 different performances. But yeah, they're two very different artists, but I see similarities. Let's see. Bruno isn't bad. He makes pretty good music and he's consistent. Jan, isn't it more of a generational thing on transitions? No one was calling it black music till this album. Grenade wasn't considered black music, Nakib Haas says. Dean Classic. I even saw young kids know every lyric to Michael Jackson songs, and I'm like, how? Jan, I see Bruno have a very complex understanding of funk, black music, etc. I am, because Bruno Mars wasn't making funk before, he was making pop. Jan, very complex, even his current 80s revival of funk. Jan, yeah, but he knows it. Sophia, oh, that's my cousin. There are more artists who are actually black and do funk music. For me, I think, like, okay, because Michael and Prince and that whole, like, movement of New Jack Swing and, like, music producers like a Babyface and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and, like, you know, Teddy Riley, and those, you have to understand, like, the artists within Bruno Mars' generation, and even like people within my generation, we grew up like when I was little, even though like Michael Jackson still wasn't like necessarily like as relevant as, not okay, I'm not gonna say as relevant, but he wasn't like as like mainstream popular as he was back in his heyday. For people who grew up when those artists were like really, really popular and past then, they will forever, whether consciously or not, be influenced by that genre. There's no denying that black music specifically is like heavily influential on music in general. And I think this issue of who is allowed to make certain types of music and who is not allowed to make certain types of music and who can enjoy certain types of music and who can't, it's gonna be more complicated as this world and as America specifically becomes more culturally diverse. So yeah, get ready for these more of these conversations. Nakib Haas, do you think Anderson Paak is gonna sell records at the same rate as Bruno Mars though, regardless of race? Honestly, I've never heard of Anderson Paak, so I think there's your answer in and of itself. I mean, again, this all kind of it's hard to put that responsibility in on the consumer's hands, like unless the consumers know to look for it. Thankfully, again, with like things like social media, there is a way for these artists to kind of like get the word out for themselves, but it's hard when you don't have the support of your label. Because I mean, we all know that, you know, the label Bruno Mars will pay endless amounts of money to help support his album and tours and whatnot. Nino Liberte Fios, Prince was improv, Michael was detailed, very different, but both unworldly, popular, and influential. Agreed, yes. Nakib Haas, that's just how it has had like that's just how it is. He had like 5 #1 singles before this album. I am, just Googled them and Anderson Paak is a rapper, so is a no on that. Again, I will just say from having recently traveled outside of the United States, it's harder for rap. I think rap is at least more influential than it was like even like 5-10 years ago. But still to this day, I think rap is a more difficult genre to travel overseas with than like something like pop. I'm sorry I keep like touching my nose. My nose is like really itchy, so that's why I keep touching it. But anyways, okay. Jan, I saw this video about how he uses syncopated influence from James Brown all the way to freaking Robert Troutman. Yeah, I like Prince, but pop music is usually watered down. MJ was the only one who he was able to master the art of balance. Agreed. Nakib Haas, that's why he sold so much. Smooth Criminal is a goddamn masterpiece. Yeah, Smooth Criminal is the jam, man. Jan, no way, man. Pop is not watered down. Pop is mad complex if you understand musicality, music history, etc. Why Bruno Mars 24K Magic Makes You Dance, the video I saw is titled. I feel like, is that like a video from Nerdwriter? I wouldn't be surprised if he like made a video like that. Anyways. Dean Classic, I think you once said that Michael's Invincible album is your least favorite, so what's a song from that album that you can bear to listen to? For me, I don't even, okay, like, for me, it's like, with Michael specifically, the Invincible album is probably the album that I revisit the least. But, I mean, like, I do like some songs on it. Like, obviously, like, You Rock My World is a jam. However, I can do without the little Michael Jackson and Chris Rock exchange in the beginning. I'm like, okay, that's enough. My favorite song off of that album is Butterflies. But I also really like Speechless. Those are like probably the only 3 songs I listen to on that album, frankly. But yeah. How do you think Beyonce's pop music is? Oh, I am at Nakib 8 Haas. Do you think Beyonce's pop music is watered down? Jan Nerdwriter. Yep. I think I was talking about the video where she was talking about like why Bruno Mars 24 came. Magic Makes You Dance. In case you guys want to watch it, it's by Nerd Writer, who's one of my favorite people here on YouTube. Nikki Paz, Beyonce isn't pop, Lemonade isn't pop. She was pop back in the Single Ladies days. Yeah, and you know, to kind of speak a little bit about that, it's really interesting because I think Beyonce was more of a global act in her earlier days, like when she was still with Destiny's Child, but more specifically, like during her like Single Ladies days and like during her like Get Me Body days, and like maybe might argue for Dangerously in Love days, but like Single Ladies was a definite like pop album. But I think as the music genre has more, like at least here in America, as it's shifted more towards like the hip hop sound, I think Beyonce has strategically like shifted her musical direction to reflect that change. And also I think like where Beyonce is in her career, like after Single Ladies, she did like she received like lots of like mainstream pop success. And I think after having experienced that mainstream pop success, Beyonce, a lot of the criticism of Beyonce, at least during that time, was like, oh, Beyonce is so perfect and she doesn't want to take any risks, and like what does she really feel and what does she really want to say. And for me, as someone who has like religiously listened to all of Beyonce's albums, like I think that risk really started when she fired her father as her manager and started managing herself, and she released Four. That album for me, like still to this day, is my favorite Beyonce album, because I still like, for me, like that's when Beyonce took her first step into becoming like the fearless artist that we know her as today. And I don't think I don't think the albums that followed for like Lemonade and like Self-Titled would have happened without Beyonce having made that album for. So for me, I do agree though that the Lemonade album isn't nearly as it doesn't appeal globally like the Single Ladies album did. And that's because the topics that Beyonce is singing about in Lemonade, it's a very specific experience she's singing from. I mean, she's talking about the Black female experience in America. And those types of songs, they're not going to appeal globally like a Single Ladies would. So for better or worse, that's just the direction that Beyonce has chosen to go in her career. But I think it's, I mean, like, I commend her, man. Like, it's a brave one. Jan, no hate, but I also think that Bruno is appropriative, but he is quite part of Black music and totally contributes to other Black artists. I am, how would you classify her? R&B? How would I classify Beyonce? I would say Beyonce... If I were to, like, categorize her, I think it's really hard to categorize Beyonce into one specific genre, but if I were to categorize her to a specific genre, I would categorize her probably to, like, R&B. Because, I mean, she doesn't really make pop music anymore, but, I mean, even then, again, it's still kind of hard because, I mean, the Lemonade album alone, like, she was exploring different genres within that one specific album. Like, I mean, she did rock with Don't Hurt Yourself and reggae with Hold Up, and country with Daddy Lessons. So I don't know, it's hard. Yeah, okay. Nino Liberté Fiaz. Remember, Michael's best album is Off the Wall, which happens to be his blackest album to date. I mean, for me personally, like, I always flip-flop between Thriller and Off the Wall. I definitely would say Off the Wall is Michael's most cohesive album, but we all know that in terms of sales, Michael's most successful album to this day is Thriller, and I'm pretty sure that still remains to be the biggest selling album of all time. Now, as far as, like, if that's his best album, if Off the Wall is his best album, I don't know. I mean, I really still think that's, like, a matter of opinion. God, my face is so itchy. Okay, Nikki Paz. She's on the SZA and Solange wave. Alternative R&B. Dean, classic. Nino Liberté Fiaz. Please let go of this black thing. Just live. Nikki Paz, IDK. I love Off the Wall, but it's hard to choose between that. Thriller, Nikki Paz, Human Nature, man. Yeah, for me, like, Human Nature remains my favorite Michael song. Like, to this day, I don't think I've heard any song that sounds like a Human Nature. I don't think anyone can make a song like Human Nature. And frankly, whenever people start covering Human Nature, I'm like, just stop. But yeah. I am Dean. I am Dean. I think it's kind of insensitive to ask someone to stop talking about race when the conversation is about music or art in general, because people create art based on their experiences like race, class, and gender, etc. etc. Dean Class, exactly. It's about music. Nina Liberte Fiaz, I'm disappointed in Beyonce. Her music today is dated and repetitive. Her pure R&B days were pure gold. Beyonce really decided to check every genre in Lemonade. LOL, says I am. Nikki Paz, my only problem with Lemonade is I wish she actually wrote on it. You become GOAT when you start writing a portion of your songs. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, though, Nikki, because I think songwriting in and of itself is a really... It's a definite, like, specific skill set, and I think it's a really important... Obviously, it's a really important contribution in, like, the music making process. But at the same time, I mean, like, for me, I think about someone like Whitney Houston, who, for me, she's like one of the greatest artists of all time. Never wrote a single lyric in her life. In fact, when we think of Whitney Houston and like a lot of her popular songs, she like she didn't even sing any of, like, I mean, like, it's not that she didn't sing any of her own songs, but like a lot of the songs that we can associate with Whitney, whether it's like an I Will Always Love You or The Greatest Love of All, like those weren't even original Whitney Houston songs. But for me, I still consider Whitney Houston to be one of the most talented, gifted, not just vocalists, but musicians. I mean, well, maybe not musician, but like she's one of the most like musically gifted people, just because she was so genius in the way that she like arranged her voice in particular songs. You know, like we all, I mean, I know we've all like listened to many Whitney Houston songs, but if you ever have the time to watch Whitney Houston specifically like on YouTube when she would perform those same songs live, they're like a completely different experience. And that's not to discredit the studio versions of those songs, but like when she like would take a particular song and sing it live, first of all, she never sang the same song like twice the same way. Like you can go on YouTube and literally like search like Didn't We Almost Have It All, and you will literally listen to 5 different versions of that song, because similarly to Prince, she never performed the same song the same way. And just like the way she vocally arranged herself, she just knew how to do it. She just knew how to do it in a way that not many people have or ever will. So for me, I consider her to be one of the GOATs, even though she did not write her own songs. And I think like people they tend to knock Whitney for that and say like, oh, well, she's not as great as so-and-so because she didn't write her own songs. But I really don't think like that's a fair knock on her. I consider Whitney Houston to be one of the greatest like musical people to come across like ever. So yeah. Let's see. Akib Haas, is MJ really MJ without him writing Billie Jean and composing? No, I mean, like, again, like, I mean, Michael, he wrote Billie Jean, but also, like, there's other songs, too, that Michael didn't write, and that contributed to, like, his legacy. Like, I mean, like, arguably one of Michael's most important songs is Man in the Mirror, and he didn't write that song. He wrote, I believe Saida Garrett, who's a black woman, wrote that song. So, I mean, I think there is obvious like genius and skill and ability necessary to, you know, be able to write songs well, but I also think there's a certain level of skill and genius that you need to have to interpret the lyrics of a song and like sing it in a way that's just like memorable. Like I think that in and of itself, like that skill specifically is it's a skill that's overlooked, and it's a skill that's underestimated, but it's still a very important skill nonetheless. Because, I mean, how many times, like, going back to Whitney, have we heard, like, many, many different people sing Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing? Many, many, many times. Just, like, watch a season of American Idol, or The Voice, or The X Factor. There are so many people who will try to sing Whitney Houston songs. However, no matter what, they will never sing it the way that Whitney sang it. And that's because there is a certain genius in the way that she sang it. So, okay, Okay. Acting classic, race and music go hand in hand, life experience and thought process. Did Whitney ever write her song? She's still the GOAT. Never mind, you said it. Yeah, she didn't write her own songs. Frank Sinatra and Whitney Houston rarely wrote their songs. It's okay. Agree, Dean Classic. Nakib Haas, I like Janet better than Whitney, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah, and I mean, like, again, like, people like Janet, like, who wrote, like, a good majority of those songs, a lot of people, like, will also try to discredit Janet because they'll say, oh, well, she doesn't have a voice like Whitney. It's just, like, you can't expect someone, an artist, to be good at every single thing. I think different artists have their different strengths, but I think it's the way in which they use those skill sets that separates them from just being like a good artist to being like a great artist to being like legendary GOAT status. Yeah. I'm just saying people put Prince and Michael in a different category because of the songwriting. Agreed, yes. Nino Liberté Fios, Whitney has been known to change tones based on the crowd. You know, I don't know about that. Again, like, if we want to go back to the whole discussion of, like blackness, I feel a little bit uncomfortable because talking about this because, again, like, I'm not black. But, Whitney Houston was someone who historically was criticized a lot by the black community for, not being black enough because she was singing certain songs that... She was singing certain songs, A, and B, she was singing those songs in a way that maybe, like, a black artist wouldn't sing them traditionally. But also, you know, a lot of people tend to stunt Whitney in her Bodyguard era, but if you listen to an album like My Love Is Your Love album, like, Whitney was making, like, tons of, like, R&B oriented music in that specific album. I mean, she was working with Teddy Riley, she was working with Missy Elliott, she was working with Timbaland. I mean, it's not like Whitney Houston didn't ever make black sounding music. In fact, her I'm Your Baby Tonight era, which was the third album she released, like, she made that album specifically keeping in mind that she wanted to make more black oriented music. Because, you know, like, at the end of the day, like, Whitney Houston was still a black person, so there's that. And two, like, you know, she was very aware of the criticism that she was facing after having, you know, the first album and second album, like, release. But I don't think you can 100% completely blame Whitney Houston for performing as well as you thought she should, for performing her blackness up or down. I think a part of the reason why she did that was because of, like, her label, Clive Davis. I don't know if you guys know who Clive Davis is, but this is someone who managed Whitney Houston throughout her entire career and was very specific in the way that he wanted to package Whitney. So, again, that's a whole other conversation, but, yeah. Let's see. Nino Liberté Fios, God bless you, but I am a human being first. I listen to music for music's sake. I'm not listening to Mozart for race and experiences. That's what makes Nino Liberté Fios. That's what makes music different. Dean Classic, as Michael would say, I am not gonna spend my life being a color. Nakib Haas, I think Michael was the only one that's every skill known to mankind. At Dean Classic, part of my humanity is my blackness, so I don't really understand your point. I can connect more with Beyonce than I can with Taylor Swift because of the experiences me and Beyonce share. DJ Killer Meme Star, why are you streaming at 8:11 a.m.? This is an impromptu live stream. This wasn't planned. The reason why I'm live streaming is because, again, of the whole, like, Bruno Mars culture vulture discussion that was really hot today. Again, I was gonna make a video on this, but I thought it'd be more... I thought it'd be more interesting to have an open conversation about the topic in a live stream. Let's see. Nakib Haas. Yeah, race matters, bro. Look at the bad music video. He did care about his race. Also, Dean Classic. Also, Michael, greatest song was about denying a child he could have fathered. What's your point? Dean Classic, again, God bless you, but I listen to good music regardless of color. Alara, Rod Temperton was a huge part of MJ's success with Off the Wall and Thriller. Yeah, and for those of you guys who don't know, Rod Temperton was, he's a white guy. So, I don't know. Nakib Haas. Wasn't Clive also with Alicia Keys? Yes, Clive Davis was, the person who introduced Alicia Keys to the world. Essentially, he was. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this documentary called The Soundtrack of Our Lives. It's a documentary that you can like rent or buy on iTunes, Apple Music, but it's about Clive Davis and how, you know, his basically his like career as a music executive, and he worked with like a whole gamut of artists like Janis Joplin and Barry Manilow and Aretha Franklin and Dionne Warwick, Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, P. Diddy, Jennifer Hudson. He worked with a ton of different people. So really interesting documentary for anyone who likes music history. That MJ quote is pretty interesting given his lifelong problematic relationship to his blackness. I mean, what Bruno Mars is doing is cultural appropriation, but I think black people are more likely to forgive him because he's brown and could pass for black. Nakeeb has So Simple was such a nice song. Yeah, MJ was a flawed individual who isn't flawed, so is, Dean Classic said, Nakeeb has, so is everyone else. Yeah, I mean, my nose is really itchy, but I mean, again, the conversation of race, especially in relationship to art, and especially in relationship to the people who are creating said art, it's a complicated one, and it's a nuanced one, and it's gonna be, I don't think there's ever gonna be like an end-all be-all, like this is the right thing, because so many people have different experiences with their race. So yeah. Nino Liberte Fiaz at I am correct, and he's showing respect. Yeah, I've actually like low-key kind of like lost track of what you guys were talking about because I'm like busy rambling so much. But let's see. Going back to Zammer Jammer though. Yeah, Michael's relationship to his blackness. Again, I mean, like, I feel like I'm kind of like sounding like a broken record here, but he was someone who was criticized for not being black enough for many different reasons. Whether it was because, like, as he got older, obviously he, like, his skin was not black anymore, because, you know, the vitiligo, and also because I think when Michael reached a certain level of, like, mainstream popular success, a lot of people within the black community were wondering why he wasn't making more black sounding music. So there was that. And I think also, like, I'm sure this was probably a criticism too, but I think at the time, like, at least around Thriller era, Michael was, like, linked to Brooke Shields, so there was sort of this, like, well, why isn't Michael dating any black women? Because I see here that Nakeeb Haas says, people criticized Prince for his dating choices and said he wasn't black enough, and, I mean, that's a perfect segue to also saying that Prince was deemed as someone not being, like, quote-unquote black enough, because, again, I don't think, I mean, he tended to sort of, at least when it came to dating, associate himself with more of, like, the, like, Latina-looking girls, and I don't think he really dated anyone who was, like, black, at least as far as I know. And then on top of that, too, like, Prince, yes, he made, like, yes, Prince is known for, like, his funk music, and he definitely made music of that genre, but also Prince was known for his, like, rock music too, and people interpreted, like, Prince dabbling in rock, that sort of being Prince kind of, like, rejecting his own culture in a way, because he wasn't making, like, he wasn't making enough black sounding music. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Zammer Jammer, I know he had people come up to him, MJ, when he was going through puberty and actually say stuff like, where's cute little Michael, and go, ew, when they saw him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you actually got that piece of information from the Oprah interview he did with Oprah back in 93, I believe. But yeah, I mean, we could literally have, like, a very intense discussion about, like, the psychology of Michael Jackson that could, like, go on for days, because he was a very, like, complicated and complex individual, for better or worse, but I'm sure experiencing certain types of having those certain experiences definitely like affected his own level of self-esteem and his own like perception of self. Naki Paz, hey, there was Liberian Girl. Yeah, off the Bad album. It's one of my favorite songs. Zammer Jammer, probably haha, Oprah teaches us so much. She does. Dean Classic, could care less about Michael's blackness. He didn't harm anyone. I only care about his music and for the people he got to made smile through his charity, which people don't talk about as much. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, again, like, I don't consciously think, oh, I like said artist because they're this color, or I like said artist because they're not this color. For me, at the end of the day, it's about the music. However, I do acknowledge and understand that that person's race and cultural background and identity, they're going to bring a part of themselves into that music. But in terms of like the level of love I have for said artists and music, it's not based in color. And it goes beyond race. Nakib Haas, if he didn't go through what he went through, would we ever get that amazing music? But his blackness does matter. His fan base was black people. Shamia, 1500. OMG, I'm shook. I've missed your stream since my phone broke in January. Oh my god, Shamia, well, I'm happy that your phone is working now or something, but, welcome. Zammer Jammer, well, not related to his blackness, but he might have harmed some people. If you're insinuating what I think you might be insinuating, I personally don't believe he did any of that, but, I mean, it's up to you to believe that. Nakib has it. The black fans didn't buy Off the Wall in droves. Yeah, I mean, like, but also understand, too, that, like, Michael Jackson was very disappointed in the level, Michael Jackson was disappointed in how Off the Wall performed, and it was because Michael Jackson was so disappointed in the way that Off the Wall performed, because Michael Jackson felt like, I should have been awarded more, and maybe part of the reason why he wasn't awarded more when he made Off the Wall was maybe because that was a very black-sounding album, and maybe it was because he was black too, and I think that fuel and sense of rejection he felt from experiencing the failure of Off the Wall, that's what really motivated him to make an album like Thriller. So, yeah. Nasir, hello, been a while. Yes, Nasir, it has been a while. I remember you used to comment on my Black Mirror videos. Nakib Haas, there would be no Thriller. Yeah, that's literally what I just said. LOL, your nose, poor you. Yeah, my nose is, like, so itchy. I don't know if it's, like, bothering you guys that I literally keep scratching my nose. Part of me, like, doesn't even want to post this video because I literally keep scratching my nose. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. But, yeah, my nose is really, really itchy. I may not post this video, honestly, you guys, because I keep scratching my nose. So, for the people who are tuning in, you're getting an exclusive. Nakib Haas, Zammer Jammer, you're a hater. He didn't touch any kids. Nakib Haas, I don't think he was sexual at all. Okay, well, neither of us was there firsthand. I'm not, quote, a hater. Nakib Haas, yeah, well, he beat the case, so what is there to talk about? Jamia, 1500, MJ was really one of the most influential artists of all time. Nino agreed. Nino Liberté Fial's Off the Wall is so great. It spawned the platform to THD? I don't know what THD is. I am. Just because someone wins a court case doesn't mean he didn't do anything wrong. Nakib, Haas, would I personally hang out with kids? Absolutely not. Oh, greatest album. Oh, he's saying Off the Wall is so great it spawned the platform to the greatest album. Nakib Haas, but that's the flaw. I am. I'm not trying to get into this. Brett Reed, I just got here. Wow. What did I get into? Me having a very itchy nose. That's what you just got into. I am, but I feel like we shouldn't ignore the words of victims of assault just because they won a court case. Zammer Jammer agreed. Yeah, for me, honestly, I'm not going to, Nakib Haas, I don't ignore them. For me, honestly, I'm not going to talk about the court case that was the child molestation allegations that Michael Jackson faced. For me personally, I don't believe that he did it. I think he was someone who was taken advantage of because of who he was. That's all I have to say about that. But again, my love for Michael stems from the music. Dean classic. I wouldn't even entertain these MJ sexual stuff. Jan, yo, I feel hashtag blessed and request to talk more if you want a convo about your skin situation, the itch. You're looking okay otherwise. Okay, well, Jan, if you have any, like, suggestion, I don't know why my nose is, like, so itchy. Like, I feel like it's, like, kind of looking red, but it's okay. It's okay, she'll be fine. Shamia 1500. MJ painted the blueprint for everything that any artist after him did, even if they didn't realize it. Jan, from me, one Pacific Islander dealing with dry, cold weather. Maybe it is the dryness. Honestly, it's so weird. Like, before this live stream, I was fine. Like, my nose was not itchy. And then, all of a sudden, when I started doing this live stream, my nose got so effing itchy. Like, wow, my nose is so itchy. Okay, well, Shamia 1500. Especially when it comes to music videos, he truly was the GOAT. Agreed. Jan, the nose looks okay so far. Thanks, girl. Or guy. I don't know who you are, if you're a girl or a guy, but, Dean Classic. Think about San Junipero and the itch will go away. LOL. Yeah, let me think about San Junipero right now. Nina Liberte Fios. Look, MJ said he did let kids sleep in his bed. He did not touch any kids, and there were greedy people around him. I agree with that. I'm going to go because it's 2:26 a.m. Bye, everyone. Stay safe. Good night. Jan, but as for dryness, I don't usually like putting any lotion on the face. Yeah, I don't put any lotion on my face, either. Jammer, maybe got an allergen on it. Jan's, haha, sorry if I'm diverting the convo. No, it's okay. Been chopping any ginger root recently? No, I haven't. Laura, MJ got that high-pitched he from Stevie Wonder. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, like, listen, Michael was heavily influenced by Stevie Wonder. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture of a young Michael Jackson looking over the shoulder of Stevie. I believe there's been, like, some stories that I've heard where, like, Michael Jackson was in several sessions of when Stevie Wonder was recording songs in the key of life. I don't know if he specifically got the he from Stevie, but I mean, hey, whenever we hear a good he, we think of Michael. So, Jan, they and girl or whatever is I'd Brett Reed. I can't argue with that. MJ videos are amazing. Yeah, they are. I'd be really interested to know, if you guys would be interested in me sort of doing, like, a series talking about music videos on my channel. I'm trying to think, like, in what context I can, make content about music videos on my channel. And I don't simply want to just, like, sit and react to music video. I think that's sort of, like, the easy way out. And I also think in terms of, like, for copyright reasons, I think that'd just be, like, really, really difficult to, like, quote unquote get away with. But if you guys have any ideas as to how I can sort of talk about and dissect a music video on my channel, I'd be really interested to know, because for the longest time, like, I've been wanting to, like, make videos about, kind of like an analysis of a music video for better. Even if, like, the music video doesn't deserve, like, a really intense analysis, I would like to make some content about music videos. Obviously, in that series, I would like to talk about Michael Jackson's music videos, but, I just really don't know how to go about doing that. Yeah, but I really want to make some videos where I talk about music videos. Because for me, it's like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, back in the day, like, vintage MTV and VH1, but there used to be this, like, different series where they would talk about, like, music videos. They don't have those anymore, so I kind of would like to bring that back on my channel, but I just don't know how about to do that. Shamia, yes, some reaction followed with an in-depth analysis would be cool. A lot of artists are starting to put high budget and concepts into their videos, and obviously classics are classics. LOL, the MJ Stevie Wonder, he is wild and new to me. Sis, the more you scratch, the more it'll inflame. Oh, I know, girl. Like, I'm like, my nose is so itchy. Okay, I'm gonna stop scratching. Maybe if I stop scratching, it'll like go away. Ooh, can you talk about Michael Jackson turning into the first Black Panther? Ha ha ha. Yeah, there you go, man. Okay, like, for those people who were like, oh, Michael Jackson wasn't black enough, like, low-key, like, he definitely had different, like, he made, like, I don't think Michael was as, like, explicit in his blackness as, like, maybe other artists today are, but I still think he definitely made, like, references to his racial identity. But yeah. Nakib Haas, maybe give background information to specific music videos. Okay, maybe I could do that. One of my favorite shows growing up, I remember, was this, it was a show called, like, I think it was, like, pop-up video or something like that, and it was, like, while you watch the music video, like, little bubbles would, like, pop up on the sides, and it would give you, like, it would give you, like, different pieces of information about said music video. I don't know. That's interesting. Shamia 1500. He acknowledged his blackness more than people give him credit for. Agreed. Nakib Haas. Feel like I've been watching the same music video for 10 years nowadays. No originality. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, I know there's certain artists who make, like, great original music videos, but also, like, more often than not, the music video template is usually, like, an artist in a club of haze dancing with random people. Like, that's usually what music videos are nowadays, which it's, like, lazy. Like, come on. Jan, what do you like to Wikipedia dive? Yeah, I don't really know. I don't even know if I ever do, like, Wikipedia dives. Like, I don't know. I don't really do that. Usually if I, like, am searching for something, it's because I'm specifically searching for something. Yeah, I don't think I ever do Wikipedia vibes. Oh, and that pop-up humble opinion would be great. Nakib Haas, yeah, Kendrick makes good music videos. Jan, I think if you ever do a big internet research thing, just come up and share it with us. Kendrick is fire and collaborates so much. Yeah, Kendrick videos are really good. Do you think classic albums would cease to be made after a certain period of time? Ooh, man, that's a good question. I don't know, like, I mean, my question is always, like, when an album comes out, do you ever really know if it's a classic album, like, in that particular, like, space and time? Unless, like, I don't know, that's a really interesting question. Like, when do you deem an album classic? I think, though, like, nowadays, I don't think the music that's being made now is going to have the same, like, permanence and long-standing influence that previous albums had, you know? Like, I think to this day, like, people will always go back and listen and even reference an album like a Thriller, or an album like an Off the Wall, or an album like a Purple Rain, or even an album like a Songs in the Key of Life, or an album like a Rhythm Nation, or an album like a Velvet Rope. Like, people will always go back and listen to those classic records. I don't know if the same could be said for albums that are coming out right now. But again, it's also like, I don't know if maybe the albums that are coming out right now, maybe we just don't know because they're still relatively new, if they're going to be deemed classic in the future. But I really like that question. I don't know. That's a really great question. Shamia 1500. A lot of these new videos are more focused on direction more than the stories. Yeah, agreed. I think, like, we're living in a culture right now that is more about, like, aesthetic versus substance, and I think you're really seeing that in, like, all different forms of media, but especially in, like, the music video genre. So agree with you there. Nakib Haas, great question, Nino. Jammer, hey, sort of random, but Canada just got its first black woman on currency on the $10 bill. Been reading up about her for a few hours. Viola Desmond. Wow, well, congratulations, Canada. Brett Reed. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. Okay, I think it's hard to brand an album an instant classic. It takes time. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, maybe you can talk about playlists you like and why and theme it together, etc. Ooh, okay. Let me write that down. Wait, I like that. You guys didn't know, I actually have a Spotify account that's associated with this YouTube channel. It's at INN_MHO. You could find me on Spotify. I think right now I only have like a Christmas playlist, but if you guys like, maybe in the future I could make like different videos where I make a playlist of my favorite songs by a particular artist, and then once that video is released, you guys can go and listen to that playlist I talk about. But yeah, let me know if that's, I personally like that idea. Maybe I'll do that with or without you guys saying that you like that idea. But yeah, if you guys ever want to follow me on Spotify, I have a Spotify account, so you can follow me there. Jan. Okay, well first I want to credit this to Jan. So thank you, Jan, for giving me this idea. Jan said, talk about playlists that I like and theme it together. I'm writing this down. I don't know if you can hear the writing scribbles, but okay. Jan has given me some future video ideas, so thank you, Jan. Nikki has, I just think with the decrease in record sales, artists are throwing songs on the wall hoping for a hit. Yeah, I think like artists nowadays are less interested in making an album and they're more interested in getting a hit because of streaming. So I think streaming has kind of killed the art form of the album, but yeah. Nikki pause rather than focusing on art. Oh, I think that was a continuation of what you just said. Okay, Dean Classic, random question. Are you possibly an avid book reader? When I was younger, I used to be an avid book reader. Honestly, nowadays, I rarely read, and that's something that I want to improve on. I don't know. That's something I hope to improve on, is I want to get back into reading more, but I personally don't read that much. But I mean, like, you know what I do read a lot, though, are articles, like, on Twitter or whatever, because, you know, again, like, I read lots of articles today about, like, the Bruno Mars cultural appropriation thing. So, yeah. Zammer Jammer, and everyone's like, who? We still need Black History Month offs. Nikip has Zammer Jammer, I'm from Toronto. Haha. Nino Liberté Fios, classic albums should influence, stand the test of time, and inspire. Ooh. That's an interesting, I'm gonna write that down too, okay. Classic albums requirements. I don't know where how I'm gonna like ever like reference this in a video, but it's an interesting thought. Influence, stand the test of time, and inspire. This is by a thought by Nino Liberté Fios. Okay. If you ever hear me quote you, remember this moment. Nakib Haas, yeah, I know about that. Zammer Jammer at Nakib Haas, Woot T dot represent. Oh wow, you guys have like said a lot since then. Okay, where am I? Okay, Shamia 1500. I feel like you can't really call anything a classic until it shows longevity. Like, of course, Beyonce's self-titled was classic because of its release, but will people enjoy the music in 10 years? Yeah, I don't know. Only time will tell. Ooh, yeah, time your commentary. Dean Classic, I love that idea. Jan with the playlist. It'll be tough for the Beyonce album to be a classic, not an album for everyone. I love theme playlists. I can always do with more. Jan, so we can listen to your commentary concurrently without you getting a copyright ding on YouTube. Oh, that's a good point. Good point, Jan. Shamia 1500, that really is a concept. A 90s R&B playlist would be iconic. Also, aesthetic over substance sounds like the plot description for AHS Hotel. I agree with you there, girl. That's why I still, to this day, have not watched that season of American Horror Story. I like your James Bridges video. What's James Bridges video? I now have a playlist with neo 50s, 60s songs. A lot of Winehouse, Andre Day. Ooh, I love Andrade. She's so underrated. Raphael Sadiq, Snow, Allegra, etc. Oh, Leon Bridges. Yeah, Leon Bridges. He's definitively an artist up my alley. He deserves way more praise. Nino Liberte Fios, the way music is going, it would be foolish to drop an album. Nakib Haas, I gotta go. Have a good night, guys. Well, good night, Nakib. Alright. How many of you guys want me to keep going? Because I honestly could keep going, but, let me know if you guys want me to continue. Nakib Haas, by the way, most underrated MJ song is Heartbreak Hotel. Ooh, yeah, I like that song. Actually, I think that's, like, technically a Jackson song, but he did perform that song many, many, many times. Specifically, I'm thinking about how he performed that song, during the Bad Tour. But I think it's technically categorized as a Jackson song. Dean Classic, I do, keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. I don't know when I'm gonna end. Maybe I'll end when I get tired. I don't even know, honestly, if I will, like, save this particular live stream because I keep scratching my nose so much. Yeah, okay, Shami 1500, me because it's 2:40 a.m. and I know I'm going to sleep no time soon. LMAO. Okay, well, I mean, like, tomorrow's Saturday, so I'm assuming maybe some of you don't have work tomorrow, maybe some of you don't have school tomorrow, so you guys can just stick around longer than the usual, but, yeah, let's see. Can I edit this video? I'm trying to see if, like, for anyone who ever chooses to go back and, for anyone who ever chooses to go back and watch this video, they can, I want them to be able to see the comments as they were coming, because I remember there was a way that you can, there's like this thing now on YouTube that enables, like, live chat. Oh, okay, maybe that's it. Okay. Anyways, sorry. I got distracted there. Okay. Let me go back. I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. So let me go back to the stream. Okay. What's an artist that you dislike? Dean Classic asks. Let's see. I mean, I don't really like, what's her name? Bjork? I don't like that kind of music. That's why I'm like, I don't get this. I'm not, personally not really a fan of, like, metal. I don't like that. Like, I don't, like, for me, I don't get what the, like, appeal is of, like, a man screaming. I don't get that. So maybe that's, like, a specific genre I don't like. I'm not really a fan of, like, the trap music, like, what are they called, like, Migos or something? I don't listen to them at all. Yeah, I would just say, like, I mean, not just them, but just to, off the top of my head, think about, like, an artist and, like, several genres of music that I don't like, it's that. Shamiya 1500. Honestly, I think the last definitively classic album was 21. That album literally never left the Hot 100 until 25. Zammer Jammer. Ooh, I love heavy metal. Whoa, good for you, Zammer Jammer, because I do not like that. As far as the last classic album was 21, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that either, because, I mean, are you just judging it based on longevity in the Billboard charts? Like, is that what we're measuring classic status by? I mean, that in and of itself, of how do you categorize a classic album, like, that in and of itself can be, like, its own conversation. So, yeah, I don't know, last classic album. I mean, it's been a while since 21, and I think there's been a lot of, like, I mean, I don't know, is great the same as classic? That could be another topic of discussion. I don't know. Yeah. What did you go for your undergrad? For me, I double majored in undergrad as a psychology psychology and creative producing, and I took my creative producing major through the film school. So I technically went to film school. Is your family in tune with musical taste too? To a certain extent. To a certain extent. I mean, like, my parents were the ones that I remember they when the first time I really discovered Michael and was fully aware of who he was. I remember it was through the Michael Jackson 30th anniversary special that aired on CBS because I was 8 years old at the time. And I remember I was in my room and my parents were like, oh my God, you need to come here and watch this. And that was like, even though I did grow up like kind of listening to Michael, I wasn't aware of who he was. And that was my first like real awareness of who he was. So I always credit my parents for introducing me to Michael. But as far as like them like being in like, what was your exact question, like them being in tune with my musical taste too, like they definitely know the type of music I tend to orient myself towards. I mean, like my parents, like they love Michael. My mom is like a huge Whitney like Houston fan, like she loves her. I would say though that my dad is more of like a rock guy, like he likes art like bands like U2, and he loves Bruce Springsteen, and what else is my dad like? Like The Who, like those like rock bands. I mean, like I like some songs of U2, and like I like passively like Fleetwood Mac. Like I mean, the Rumors album is one of my favorite albums, but I'm not like as into it as he is. And then I would say with like my mom, she's more into like power ballad female like singers, like vocalists. Like that's why she loves like Whitney, and I love Whitney too. But she also likes people like Celine Dion. Like I liked Celine Dion too. So yeah, that's more my mom's alley. I wouldn't necessarily like say like my parents are as into like R&B like soul music like I am. But yeah. Let's see. The last classic album is Solange's Seat at a Table. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like that album, but I don't know if like that's, I mean, I don't know. Ugh, I don't want to be like the gatekeeper of like what can be deemed as like a classic album and what shouldn't be deemed. But I mean, I do think that that Solange album was great, and I'm sure it's gonna influence future albums in the future. So yeah. God, my nose is so itchy. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's cathartic. You never feel like screaming. I do notice metal tends to freak people out. Yeah, just a bit. Migos was on Saturday Night Live the other day. ... It was not great. Yeah, I don't get the appeal of trap music. It's like, first of all, what are you saying? And it's like, the thing, to talk about my faves again, the thing about like watching certain artists like Amigos is like a lot of artists nowadays, it's like when they perform, they just look so lazy. And why I love watching people like Michael and Prince and like Whitney Houston and Janet, like granted like Whitney Houston didn't dance, but like, and like Stevie, and like again he didn't dance, and like Beyonce, but like those five artists specifically, it's like when they perform, like you can tell that they're so 100% committed to like their performance, and they're like working for it, and because they're so emotionally invested in what they're doing, it just like makes watching their performance a lot more exciting. And I like that as someone who is watching a performance. I don't like it when I'm like, this person looks like they're not even trying hard. I'm just like, ugh, lazy. But yeah. Okay, Shami 1500, that's the thing, because I also don't hear people talk about the music on 21. I know, like, if I was to pick personally, I would call Anti by Rihanna a classic, but obviously that's not definitive. Yeah. And actually, I really like that Rihanna album, too. Anti, I thought was really, really great. Deem classic. My parents definitely introduced me to MJ2, even bought me loafers and white socks. Oh my god, that's so cute! Lara, my parents are jazz musicians, so they don't approve of anything else. LOL. LOL, gotta love jazz heads. I don't know too much about jazz, but I do know that the people who love jazz, like, they pretty much, like, look down on every other genre, so, yeah. Nina Liberté Fiat. Speaking of ballads, ballads are a dying breed of songs. Nobody does it anymore. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Like no one sings ballads, but also like what artist nowadays can sing ballads like the way that singers of the past were able to sing ballads, you know? So I don't know. My parents just like opera dad and 60s folk mom. But once I was going through their vinyl and found an ABBA album, neither one would claim it as theirs. Haha, unsolved mystery. That's so funny. Shamia 1500. I swear that after you go to a Beyonce concert, seeing like Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift seems like highway robbery for a $5 ticket. Dang. You know, in terms of like current artists, Beyonce, I mean, I've seen, as embarrassing as this may sound to some people, but I'm not embarrassed of it. I mean, I've seen Celine Dion in concert in Vegas, and I did see Janet Jackson back in September, but I wouldn't necessarily like categorize Janet as like a current artist. Like, I wouldn't put her in the same era as Beyonce, but as far as that goes, like for me, Beyonce is the only like current artist like I would genuinely go and pay money to see and like want the good seat tickets for. Like if I were to see like Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift in concert, it would literally be like because I'm just gonna get the concert the day of and I have nothing else to do and I am not gonna pay over like $100 for that ticket because I'm like, what? I'm not paying. I'm not gonna pay that much for the ticket when that money could go to seeing Beyonce again. So yeah. Zammer Jammer at Lara. What instruments do your parents play? Lara, both play piano. Cool. Breck Reed. I wouldn't admit it either. Are you talking about the ABBA album? Zammer Jammer, cool. I played jazz guitar in high school. It was crazy hard but super fun and definitely expanded my taste in music. Yeah, Janet is a legend. Shamia, yeah, Janet is a legend that truly can move like she did 20 years ago. Yeah, when I saw Janet for her State of the World tour back in September, like, genuinely, I was amazed because she's like 50 plus, and she can move literally better than like 90% of the artists nowadays who are half her age, if that. Like, she still has it. Like, granted, maybe she doesn't move as quickly as she used to, but damn, like, that girl, those Jackson jeans, man, they can dance. Woo! They can perform and dance. Nino Liberté Fios. It's sad, but Fifth Harmony can actually sing ballads, but they choose to do these dated, trend-seeking songs. Yeah, I don't know too much about Fifth Harmony, so I don't really know how much I can add to that, but I mean, again, like, from a business standpoint, like, I understand why they're tracing the trend, but again, like, in tracing the trend, you're not making music that's going to, like, stand the test of time. Dean Classic, do you watch the show Genius? No, I don't. But I think I remember you bringing that show up when I was talking about how, like, if I were to make, like, a TV show, I would want to make, like, a 27 Club TV show and make each season about someone from the 27 Club. But, no, I don't watch Genius, but I think I should. You said you saw Celine Dion in Vegas. Was that her show she had with Cirque du Soleil? No, unfortunately, it was not that show. But, fun fact though, because I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I think I have, like, in passing in like previous videos, but I actually grew up dancing, and that's why I have for those of you guys who couldn't tell already, that's why I have a very strong connection to music and certain artists. But I danced for 17 years of my life, and one of my teachers was actually a dancer in that Celine Dion Cirque du Soleil show. So I actually have a DVD of it, which I watch from time to time, and I cry because it's so good. But I did not see that show. The show that I saw of Celine was, I saw her in 2011, and I think it was like she had taken a break and then she came back. But in that show, I remember she opens with a cover. She sings Journey's Open Arms, and like I remember when the first time, like, because it's so dramatic, like, you just hear her voice, and then, like, a big, like, sheet, like, drops, and then you see Celine Dion, and it's, like, this, like, bright, like, shining behind her, and, like, I, like, legitimately cried. But yeah, she's saying, like, Open Arms, she's saying Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, she's saying, I think she's saying, like, a Stevie Wonder song. That's the show I saw of Celine. It was not the Cirque du Soleil show. Brett Reed, that itchy nose is still in full effect. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys, if, like, me scratching my nose is, like, bothering you, because it's so, like, it's so itchy. I want me, like, oh, I was just gonna say, maybe I should put some lotion, but I remember someone said, don't put lotion. Patricia Diaza, hi. Hi. Oh yeah, I remember I like your default picture. It's like Whitney Houston. Are you excited for new Whitney Houston documentary movie on July? Oh, I didn't know that there's a new Whitney Houston documentary. Send me the link. Send me the link if you have, like, a link to the trailer or something. Dean Classic, I literally was about to ask you if you danced. Yes, I did dance. I danced for 17 years, which is quite a long period of time. Shamiya 1500, what was the first choreo you practiced from a video? Every dancer I know always remembers that moment. Damn. Let's see. I mean, like, growing up as a kid born in 93, really became aware of, like, my surroundings in the late 90s, early 2000s, growing up watching Disney Channel during that particular time. That was when they were playing, like, music videos by, like, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and Destiny's Child and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. But I don't think I ever, like, in watching those videos, ever, like, made the effort to try and learn the choreography from those videos. But honestly, like, I will say, like, when I got into my first, like, when I became hugely obsessed with Michael when I was 8, I remember my mom got me the Making of Thriller VHS tape, and I remember, in that VHS, like, in the VHS tape, they show the full-length music video for Thriller, and then they show, like, the making of, and at one point in that video, they show the Beat It music video, and I was, like, hugely obsessed with the choreo from the Beat It music video. And I remember always trying to rewind and stop and try to, like, learn the choreo for the Michael Jackson Beat It video. So to answer your question, I would say Beat It is probably, like, the first choreo I, like, really, really tried hard to learn. So yeah, it'd be that. Dance moves from any Janet video. Am I gonna do it? No. But, actually, fun fact, though, the guy who choreographed Janet's Rhythm Nation, God, I'm, like, forgetting his name. It's, like, Anthony, is it, like, Anthony Thomas or something? He actually came to my dance studio and taught us the original choreo for, Janet's Rhythm Nation video, which was such a cool experience, and I think I, like, low-key cried, because I asked him, like, if he ever met Michael Jackson, and he told me this story about how, like, he remembers trying to teach Michael the Rhythm Nation choreo, and Michael was, like, standing right next to him, and he was, like, getting freaked out. And he was supposed to also come back and teach us the choreo for the Miss You Much video, which is my personal favorite choreo of Janet's videos. I love the Miss You Much choreography. He never came back because then the studio closed down, but, if you're asking, like, my favorite piece of choreography for Janet, it'd probably be, like, Miss You Much. Yeah. A Jammer. A friend of mine teaches the Biography dance class, all Beyonce moves and songs. I've gone a few times and didn't embarrass myself too badly. Wow, that's so cool. Biography dance class. Let me see. As far as, like, favorite Beyonce choreo goes, oh, I love when Beyonce performs End of Time. Like, I know she never had a video for that, but I love the choreo she has for End of Time when she performs live. And I also love the choreo, she does, like, this thing where she, like, breaks down. It's sort of like she does, she performs Ring the Alarm, and in concert when she performs it, I think she did a little bit of this when she performed at the VMAs, but she does this thing where she, like, pretends like she has a gun. She goes, like, it's so cool. If you've ever seen Beyonce live, you know what I'm talking about, but that's, like, one of my favorite pieces of Beyonce choreo. No, Dean Classic. No, apologize about the itchy nose. I'm over here coughing like a madman. Dang, sorry about your cough. Sorry about your cough, Dean. We're just having a hard time here. Patricia Diaza, did you watch a Whitney concert before? I've never seen, unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to see Whitney Houston live, but I've seen like several different like long clips of different like Whitney Houston concerts. For me, like one of my favorite, arguably my favorite, if not, it's like in my top three. One of my favorite performances of Whitney was when she performed "Didn't We Almost Have It All" in 1987 in Saratoga. God, what a performance! That's one of my favorite performances to always go back and watch. I also love watching several of those clips of when Whitney performed for the Welcome Home Heroes event for HBO. Love that. Um, yeah. But you know what? I've also heard like I'm like that weird person who will literally listen to like full length audio from like Whitney Houston concerts back in the day. So I've actually like sat through like the audio of like 3 full Whitney Houston concerts, even though there's no visual component to it. But I've listened to the audio, and it's life changing. Shamiya 1500. That's an iconic start. LMAO. Shamiya 1500. Wait, there isn't an end of time video? No, there's no end of time video. Shamiya 1500. Oh wow, I just googled it. I could have sworn the Todrick Hall dance moth thing was a part of the official end of time video. I'm shook. No, that was not an official Beyonce video. But when Todrick Hall did make that video, he like made it like before YouTube got like oversaturated, and it was still like people were still like kind of like amazed by what was happening on YouTube. And I think Beyonce actually, in her official Beyonce YouTube channel, like she did like she made a video where she like personally thanked Todrick Hall for making that video, which nowadays will never happen. But yeah. Dean Classic, LOL, I do that too. I listen full audio concerts of Sinatra. Wow, that's amazing that they have like full audio from Sinatra concerts, because I would think that'd be like really hard to find, because it seems like that would be from such a long time ago. But that's really cool that you do that too. Sometimes for me personally, like there's certain artists where I I prefer to listen to the live concert version versus like the studio versions. Like, I mean, again, not to dig on the studio versions of the songs, but just listening to Whitney Houston's iterations like of her songs live, it's like a completely different it's a completely different experience. I usually, like, for me, as much as I love Michael, I prefer the studio version. It's cool when he starts to like, you know, do his like beatboxing and scatting. I think that's really cool, but I like the studio versions of Michael's songs. Beyonce, I love the live versions of her songs. I think she does really, really great live versions of her songs. That's cool. Shamiya 1500, RIP old YouTube. I blame YouTube Red. That was the start of it all. I don't know what I blame. I blame the Paul brothers. I know it started long before them, but like they're a big part of the problem and why YouTube is the way it is. Zammer Jammer, I love listening to live Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald. The best, of course, being where she was singing Mac the Knife and forgot the words in the middle and just made it up on the spot. Oh my god, that sounds like so like funny. Well, I didn't even know that existed on YouTube. That's really cool. Or if it like actually exists on like iTunes maybe. Okay, Patricia De Ozzo. What's your favorite Glee tribute episode? The Michael Jackson episode, the Whitney Houston episode, or the Finn Hudson episode? Oh, Patricia, you just like stabbed me with that question, man. I mean, the Finn Hudson one was like traumatizing for very obvious reasons, because for those of you guys who didn't watch Glee, Finn Hudson was a character on Glee, but it was played by an actor named Corey Monteith, and Corey Monteith like died of an overdose during like the summer hiatus. So I remember like literally bawling my eyes through the entire tribute episode for Corey, so that was like traumatic. For me personally, though, I prefer the Whitney Houston tribute episode over the Michael one. But recently, I rewatched that Whitney Houston tribute episode, and I'm kind of like, I don't think it's like as great as I remember it being. If we were to like take into account like all the tribute episodes they ever did in the entire series, I think the best tribute episode they did was the Madonna one, because that felt more like when they were paying tribute to Madonna in that episode, the way that they wrote in her songs, it felt more authentic and organic to what was happening in the story. Whereas with like the Michael tribute and the Whitney tribute, they would just like make really clunky references to like for example with like the Whitney Houston tribute, like they would make like really clunky references to like being Bobby Brown, and then like when Whitney sang the Star Spangled Banner, I'm like, you're literally just like writing random Whitney Houston references. So yeah, for me, like between like between the three, like for Heart, I will say I prefer like I think my favorite is the Finn Hudson tribute, but between Michael and Whitney, I prefer the Whitney tribute. But overall, in terms of all the tributes that they did on Glee, I think the Madonna one was the best one. Um, Nino Liberte Fios. Let's be honest, the grunt at the beginning of Princess Kiss is a classic itself. LOL. Yeah, it's iconic. Dean Classic. Yeah, Michael is much better studio version. With live, he's too busy moving. Yeah. I think like definitely like um Michael. I don't think like compromise is the right word, but he was definitely like more, not more interested. I mean, like, okay, I'll just say for lack of a better word, I think Michael did sacrifice a bit of the singing when he would perform live because, I mean, Michael Jackson was very fully aware that when people came to see a Michael Jackson concert, they expect, like, Michael Jackson dancing and all of that stuff. So I think that's why he did what he did, but I mean, you know. Woo! Dang, I've been like talking for 2 hours. Are you guys tired of listening to me talk? Zammer Jammer, you should check it out. It's really funny. You can hear her laughing and then she just starts improvising the best. Oh, and she won a Grammy for it. Oh, dang, that's so cool. What a badass. KD, late AF LOL. Hey, girl. Hey, KD. KD's my girl, man. KD, like, she watches Two Gay Mats. She watches Queer Eye. That's my girl. Patricia De Aza, did you watch the Legends panel parody series? I've seen like I've seen some videos. I haven't watched the entire thing, but I've seen some videos, and it's really, really funny. Nino Liberte Fias, ooh, like a virgin, ooh, touch for the very first time, LOL. See, Nino Liberte Fias knows what I'm talking about. Shamia 1500, I didn't watch Glee after season 1, so if this isn't possible, forgive my ignorance, but since so many shows are being rebooted, would you be here for a Glee reboot or maybe just a reunion at an award show? Oh my god, if they did like a Glee, like, I don't know, it'd be so weird. I just feel like the quality of Glee went down like severely. Like, it started to go down even in 2 and 3, but I could still make an argument for why it was still good in seasons 2 and 3, but like season 4 onward, it was a rough ride. So as far as like a reboot is concerned, like in what capacity are you gonna have like brand new people, like brand new like cast of characters? Are some of the old characters gonna come back? And I don't know, like for me, like some of the things that those Glee actors have done, like post Glee, it's like, I mean, listen, like Corey Monteith, I love him, but he died of an overdose. I don't know if you guys know, but the actor who played Puck, Mark Salling, he was charged with like a child pornography or something, or like looking at child pornography, and he literally like committed suicide back in January. I'm pretty sure like Nye Rivera got like arrested for something at one point. Like, there are some like really questionable people in the Glee cast, so I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't think they should touch Glee for a very long time. If they did a reboot, though, I would definitely watch. But I for sure also think, too, that cast Lowkey, like, I don't think they're all as, like, buddy-buddy as they once were. And I think there's still some tension between, like, Nye Rivera and Leah Michele. So, I mean, I don't know. Blee. Let's see. Patricia D. Also, what is your favorite song of Whitney Houston in I Look to You album? I Look to You is probably my favorite Whitney Houston song off of that album. That is a song, girl, that I like when I am in a dark place. I will literally cry and listen to that song. I love that song. I love I Look to You. I think that's one of actually Whitney's, like, one of her underrated songs, because again, a lot of people tend to stunt Whitney during her Bodyguard era days, and they like most likely didn't really listen to a lot of the songs that followed Bodyguard. But I Look to You is one of my favorite Whitney songs, and I would say that's my favorite song off of that album. Shamia 1500, like Glee but in college. Oh, they did that. They did like season 4 and 5 and 6 was pretty much like some of the main characters like after graduating high school. So like I think seasons, oh God, I think I emotionally blocked that out of my head because it was so bad, but like pretty much seasons 4 and 5 was like Rachel in college, so they kind of did that already. And then Shamia also says, or maybe like Glee but adults in a theater group or something, lol IDK. Yeah, I don't know. That I feel like that's just like if I were to watch that, I'd be like, this is kind of sad. I don't know, it's weird. Zammer Jammer, Whitney related question. Yes, love Whitney related questions. Have you seen the movie The Bodyguard? Yes, I actually watched it 2 nights ago because I was bored. And I watched it and it was great. And would you describe it as a great movie or the greatest movie? I would describe it. I mean, hey, listen, you know what? It's not a bad movie, okay? It's not a bad movie. I don't know how it did, like, critically at the time. I think it was just, like, fine. Hey, you know what I will say, though? I personally think that Whitney Houston is a better actress than Beyonce. And I'm a fan of both ladies. But, you know what? I will say it's the greatest. It's the greatest. And I love Whitney Houston's filmography. The entire thing. I've seen all her movies, so yeah. I'll describe it as the greatest movie. Shamia 1500. If Ryan really gets that 5 million Netflix deal, I can see him doing Glee movie as a power move. Oh God, a Glee movie. God, what would that even be? My lord. I mean, they did sort of like in the finale, they did like a 5-year like jump where they showed like spoiler alert, but like Rachel Berry, like she won a Tony and she got married to Jesse. Kurt and Blaine were married. I don't know what else happened. I think the other things happened to other characters, but that's all I remember. Patricia Day Ozzo, who is your favorite character in Waiting to Exhale? I mean, like, aside from Whitney, our girl, I really love Angela Bassett's character, Bernadine, because, I mean, come on, you guys, like, that's so iconic when she, like, gets really mad. First of all, I just, like, love Angela Bassett in general, but, like, I love in Waiting to Exhale when she finds out, like, well, not when she finds out, but she has this moment where she gets, like, really, really mad, and then she, like, throws her husband's like crap out of the closet, and then she sets her husband's car on fire. It's so good. And that's where the iconic gif came from of like her like lighting the match and then like the car bursts into flames and she just like walks away. Iconic. So good. The Bodyguard is truly, Shamia 1500, The Bodyguard is truly an iconic film, literally one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't care about a critic. LMAO. Yeah, that's one movie, like, I will thoroughly enjoy The Bodyguard. Like, in fact, you know what? If I'm really, really up for it, I will watch The Bodyguard again tonight. Like, I mean, you guys, that moment at the very end when, like, Whitney Houston gets on that plane and then you hear, like, the a cappella beginnings of Will Always Love You, and then, like, the plane is starting to take off. I could, like, see it in my head. The plane is, like, starting to, like, move forward, and then she, like, looks out the window, and then Kevin Costner's, like, waving with, like, his little, like, arm in the arm sling, and then Whitney Houston's like, wait! And then, and then, like, as, like, the orchestration of I Will Always Love You, like, kicks in, like, the little like stairs on the plane, like they lower down, and Whitney's like running, and like the wind is like blowing, and her like little like scarf around her head. Wait, let me see if I can get a scarf. I'm back. Whitney Houston literally like this, like she's like this, and then like the wind is like I'm so ridiculous. Like she's like running, and like the thing is like over her head, and like this is like blowing in the wind. Oh, That's cinema, you guys. Even though, like, low-key, that kiss between her and Kevin Costner was, like, awkward as hell, I don't care. That's cinema. Like, that's an iconic moment in film history when I Will Always Love You kicks in and she's, like, running. So good. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll stop now. That was a lot. I have, Dean Classic, I have food on the brain right now, so forgive the cliche question, but what's your favorite food? I love Italian food, so, like, anything like pasta, I'm a huge fan of. Pasta is probably, like, my favorite food. KD, Classic Angela, yes. I mean, who doesn't love Angela Bassett? That's the real question. Zammer Jammer, watching pop stars in their star vehicle movies is interesting. A friend of mine and I rented and watched Glitter and Crossroads on the same night. It was pretty rough. I've never seen Glitter, and I need to see Glitter because I've heard that it was like Mariah like thought it was gonna be her bodyguard. I saw Crossroads like a year and a half ago. And for those of you guys who didn't know, like, Shonda Rhimes, I guess, wrote Crossroads. So, like, Shonda Rhimes has come a very long way since writing that for Britney. Yeah, it was fairly rough, but I wouldn't say it was, like, horrible. But, I will still say The Bodyguard is a better movie than those two. And I don't even have to watch Glitter to, like, make that statement. But I think, like, The Bodyguard really, like, is the pinnacle of what, like, a vehicle movie for a pop star, like, can be. And I think that's why so many, like, stars, after having, like, seen The Bodyguard and seen what it did for Whitney's career, like, so many pop stars, like, whenever they sign on to do a movie, they're like, oh god, this is gonna be my bodyguard. Like, I mean, like, Britney obviously tried doing that with Crossroads, Mariah did that with Glitter, Christina did that with Burlesque. I mean, like, to a certain extent, Beyonce kind of thought, like, Dreamgirls was going to be that for her, but then Jennifer Hudson, like, stole her thunder. But, and I think, like, Lady Gaga probably thinks A Star is Born may be that vehicle for her as well. But, yeah, I still think, like, The Bodyguard is just in a league of its own. Patricia Diaza, did you eat Whitney's favorite cereal, Fruity Pebbles? Wow, I didn't know that Fruity Pebbles was Whitney's favorite cereal, but, no, I've never eaten Fruity Pebbles. I was more of a chocolate cereal kind of girl. Shamia 1500, this scarf, I'm screaming. Yeah, sorry about that. Katie, what? Shonda wrote Crossroads? Yes, she did, girl. Shamia 1500. Glitter is Mariah in a nutshell. Somewhat delusional, somewhat credible, all the way iconic. Oh my god, that's amazing. Wow. That kind of that should be like the tagline of Crossroads. Like, if it were ever on Netflix, like, that should be like the little description. Patricia de Ozit, The Princess Diaries is the best movie produced by Whitney. Yeah, we should all thank Whitney Houston for the gift that is The Princess Diaries. Zammer Jammer, Glitter was pretty boring, honestly, but there is about 5 seconds where Mariah has a B-wit of a diva moment and the movie comes alive. Capital ALIVE. Wow. Edward Basemore, I never saw Glitter, but I heard it's one of the worst movies of all time. I heard the same thing, but I still want to watch it. Zammer Jammer, that's the movie Glitter should have been. Mariah Carey playing a version of herself where she is a huge diva and just spends 90 minutes demolishing people. Dang, that's sad. Dean Classic, have you ever seen Michael's Moonwalker movie? LOL, I love most of it, but when Michael turns into a transformer, I'm like, oh, Michael. Yeah, that Moonwalker movie that's a really interesting movie. Yeah, I've seen it. I own it on VHS. I don't know where my VHS tapes are, but I have it on VHS. Yeah, Moonwalker is a very, like, artsy movie. I'll just leave it at that. It's very, like, it doesn't really follow, like, a linear traditional narrative. At, like, halfway it kind of does, but then also you're like, what's happening? I mean, like, for me, my favorite part of Moonwalker is Smooth Criminal. But yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I mean, it's interesting. Patricia D. Asa, what is reaction to Nick Gordon and Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law? I hate Nick Gordon. Low-key, like, I don't want to like go into conspiracy theories here, but I think he low-key had something to do with the death of Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina. Just saying. As far as Pat Houston is concerned, I don't know. I don't know. There's a little something sketch about her. I feel like I know like a large majority of the Whitney fan base like doesn't like her, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I watched the Houstons on her own, and it seemed like I don't know. It just seemed like she didn't help Bobby Christina as much as she should have during that point. I don't know, it's weird. And then like I heard this like I've heard like whispers on Twitter too, or like not whispers, but there was like on Twitter it like came out that like I guess like this secret tape of like Pat Houston being like shady about like Whitney and Bobby Christina like came out, and I actually listened to that recording. I was like, "Oh god, I don't know. I don't know." Shamia, Mariah should do reality television. Imagine Mariah Carey on a celebrity season of Big Brother. Holy God, the thought makes me quiver. I think actually, Shamia, Mariah had her own reality show. I don't know how many episodes it was. I think it was called like Mariah's World or something like that. You should give it a watch. I personally never watched it, but I watched this YouTube channel called Two Gay Mats, and one of the guys on there, like, he loves Mariah Carey, and they did a video like talking about their thoughts on Mariah's reality show. So yeah, you should give that a watch. Patricia De Aza, Rachel Marin scarf. Yeah, I'm like having like a Rachel Marin moment. Zammer Jammer. Glitter and Crossroads are the same movie. Britney and Mariah are so talented and amazing, and people are so mean to them because they're jealous. Oh, and both are searching for their mom. Oh my god, really? Freaking Glitter is about Mariah searching for her mom? Wow, I didn't know that. Patricia Day Aza, make a react video for the Houstons on our own. It's really hard to find the Houstons on our own. Like, I don't even think I've watched the full season of it because it's so hard to find different episodes. But, I don't think I'll ever make a reaction video, unfortunately, to that show. Sorry, Patricia. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a show worth reacting to. I'll make reaction videos to Being Bobby Brown. Just kidding. Shamia 1500. I saw it, and it was literally so great. She literally did her interviews laying down on a couch. No way. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Wow. I should watch that. I feel like that'd be so, like, just funny to watch. Patricia De Aza, what is your favorite episode of Being Bobby Brown? Oh, God. Being Bobby Brown is, like, one of my guilty pleasures. Because it's, like, you, like, feel awful because you're like, wow, like, don't do drugs, kids. But you feel bad because you're, like, laughing at the expense of, like, Whitney and Bobby. Because they're just, like, clearly on something. But you can't help but laugh because they're so funny. God, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to pick my favorite episode of Being Bobby Brown, unfortunately. I mean, like, God, I mean, dang. I don't know. There's so many funny episodes in that show. God, like, there's that moment when Whitney Houston, like, is sitting in her car and she, like, literally lip syncs to the Black Eyed Peas, Just Shut Up, Shut Up. There's a moment when like, Whitney goes inside of a Von Dutch store and meets with, like, someone, like, a gay guy, like, comes up to Whitney and she's like, are you from Newark? Oh yeah, you're from Newark. And she, like, has this, like, whole thing. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick my favorite episode of Being Bobby Brown. Zammer Jammer. I'd watch a Mariah Carey reality show if it was like The Osbournes, bad behavior galore. I never really watched that many episodes of the Osbournes reality show. I mean, I would just watch a reality show Mariah Carey, period. I mean, did you guys ever watch that episode of when Mariah was on Cribs? When she was, like, doing, like, hitting the treadmill in her heels? Like, I mean, that was iconic. Patricia De Aza. What if Whitney Houston dancing moonwalk? Are you asking what if Whitney Houston danced the moonwalk? I think that'd be interesting. I don't really think Whitney Houston was that great of a dancer. And I think Whitney, like, openly knew that. But, I mean, if she ever did the moonwalk, it would probably end up being, like, a meme of some sort. Shimia 1500. Mariah truly is the epitome of diva. Like, she's not one of these new artists on a high horse. She earned her right. Now she is just on her pedestal for the rest of her life. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Mariah at this point has cemented her diva status, and she really doesn't need to do anything else, like, career-wise, because she's such a legend, and, you know, she could just, like, basically coast on her legend status, but yeah. Dean Classic, Bobby Brown, The Great Tragedy. Yeah. Bobby Brown! God, you know, like, honestly, low-key, like, Bobby Brown was actually, like, fairly talented in his own right. And kind of circling back to our original discussion 2 years ago. Wow, 2 hours ago. I mean, he did play an instrumental part in New Jack Swing, but, like, his, like, alcoholism and his, like, addiction to, like, alcohol or, like, drugs, like, it just, like, it did a number on him. Like, it was, woo, it was bad. It was bad. If you don't believe me, just watch an episode of Being Bobby Brown and you'll know what I mean, but, yeah, but, I mean, he was talented. He was talented. Patricia de Aza. I think if Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson are married, they called them a music royalty couple. Wow. If Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson got married, I, like, honestly can't even imagine that, because that's, like, so weird to me. But, I mean, those children would be talented as hell. Like, oh my god. No pressure, though. Shemia 1500. Mariah showed up to the most major New Year's Eve performance in America 2 years ago, and 2 years in a row, and bombed it twice and didn't give a clear damn. Woo! I love a legend. I mean, when was the last time Mariah Lowkey cared about anything? But, Zammer Jammer. Mariah Carey's Emotions was my first album I had, not counting children's music. I took the cassette with me everywhere, along with Paula Abdul's Spellbound and Amy Grant's Heart in Motion. Wow, Paula Abdul and Amy Grant. I haven't fully listened to the Emotions album, but let me tell you, I love that Emotions song. Love it. It's such a jam. To this day, still jams. Shemia 1500, 2 years in a row. My bad. Okay, yes. Zammer Jammer, I'm old. You're not old, Zammer Jammer. Old age is, like, just a number. You know what I mean? But yeah, wow, we've, like, literally, I think this might be my longest live stream ever. I for sure will not be saving this. I don't know. Should I save this? Should I save this live stream, guys? If you guys ever want to rewatch this, because, I mean, first of all, I'm scratching my nose the entire time, and I'm sure it's, like, not a flattering look. But also, this is, like, long as shit. So, yeah, okay. Patricia de Aza. What is your favorite Filipino singer and Filipino songs? I mean, hello, my favorite Filipino singer is Lea Salonga. Favorite Filipino songs? I mean, if we're strictly talking, like, OPM music, let's see, I mean, again, with Lea, my favorite Leia song is probably, I don't think she originally did this, but I mean, like, I love her version of Sana Maulit Muli. I really like that one. I like, Noel Cabahon or something. I forget his name. God, there was a time when I was actually listening to a lot of Filipino music. I think it's something about, like, Bohok or something. I don't know. God, I suck. But yeah, those are my two favorite Filipino songs. Dean Classic. So is nobody gonna call out your messy bed? LOL, I kid. I love you. Oh my god, wow, thanks. Just kidding. Katie, save. Okay, I'll save it. But it'll be, like, low-key, like, embarrassing to watch this back and see how many times I'm, like, scratching my nose. Okay, Zammer Jammer, my solution to save the music industry, bring back cassettes. I, like, want to start collecting music in all its different forms, whether that be through, like, vinyl or, like, cassette or even CD. I don't know, I just think that'd be, like, a really cool thing to, like, save. But, I mean, like, yeah, bring back the cassettes, man. Shemia 1500. I feel like such a child because my first CD that I bought with my own money was literally the Cheetah Girls 2 soundtrack. And yes, please say, because I might want to gift that moment. What moment? LMAO. What moment are you talking about, Shamia? Jammer, Shamia 1500. Yes, I could probably be your mom. Patricia de Oza, Sana Maulit Muli. That's Leia's the longest song from her movie. Yeah, with Aga Mulag. Actually, I bought that movie on iTunes. That's one of the 3 movies I actually like paid money for on iTunes. It's such a classic. Really good. Shamia 1500, my bad. The scarf moment. LMAO. Oh yeah, the scarf moment. I don't. You'll have to like literally like go like an hour and a half into this live stream to get the scarf moment, I feel like. But yeah, if you ever make a gif of that, tag me on Twitter, cause I mean, hello. Zammer Jammer. But I'm not like a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. That's low-key my favorite quote from Mean Girls. I love that quote, and the limit does not exist. I mean, I love Mean Girls in general. I feel like if you're like a child of like the 2000s, I think like Mean Girls was such an instrumental part of your upbringing. So I low-key feel like the limit does not exist as to how many times I can quote said movie. Oh my god. Your Zammer Jammer, my favorite boo you whore. Your comment literally like I had to approve it. I think it's because of the word whore, but oh well. I get it. Dean Classic, yeah, I love the scarf moment. You truly look like wifey for real, LOL. Like, I look like, maybe was I giving you like Whitney vibes? Do I look like I'm about to like jet set on a private plane and that I'm waving to Kevin Costner? Oh wait, no, it's not like that. It's more like this. Is she like, she had like, it's like literally like crossed like this, and she like has it like this, and when she's like she's like running from the plane, it's literally like this, like it's like going like this. God, it's such a fucking moment. Okay, anyways, I know several people who were in that movie, filmed in Toronto. Oh my god, wow, icon. Shmi 1500, Mean Girls was so great. It's a shame they ruined that entire brand. I know, they really should have stopped after the first one. Patricia de Aza, what's your favorite Whitney Houston interview? With Diane Sawyer or Oprah Winfrey? I mean, like, as a person, I will say, like, I go back and watch the Oprah Winfrey part more. Because, like, I don't know, for me, it was just, like, I felt like Whitney was being, like, so honest. And, like, there's a moment where she's, like, explaining to Oprah how she did her drugs, and she's like, Oprah, go with me on this one. And I'm like, ooh, like every time I get to that part, I'm like, damn, Whitney was so real here. And then there's also this moment like when Whitney Houston like tells Oprah that Bobby Brown spit on her, and Oprah's reaction is like the funniest thing. Like Whitney's literally like this. She's like, and then he spit on me. And then Oprah's literally like this. She goes like, her reaction is like, the blink is like so like dramatic. She goes like this. She's like, it's so funny. Oh my god, I freaking die. But yeah, it's, I mean, like, we can't dismiss though the iconic Diane Sawyer interview, because there's, I mean, first of all, that's what gave us the birth of the iconic line, I want to see the receipts. There's just so many like gifable moments. And then like again with Diane Sawyer, she has that moment where like Diane Sawyer is like, can I ask you how much you weigh? And then Whitney's like, sure. And then Diane Sawyer is like, so how much do you weigh? And then Whitney like flips her hair. She's like, I ain't telling you, or something like that. It's so funny. I don't know. It depends on the mood that I'm in. Dean Classic, haha, yes. Shmi 1500, oh my god, did you see the new Freaky Friday trailer? Lindsay and Jamie should sue for defamation. Hollywood is always ruining something iconic. I heard about the new Freaky Friday remake, but I didn't make the effort to go watch said trailer. Because, like, why are you remaking Freaky Friday? Like, I mean, I do understand that, like, the Lindsay Lohan and, what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis version was already a remake, but like, why would you need to remake it again? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah. Wow, we've really been at this for quite the while. Zammer Jammer. The teacher who raises her hand when Tina Fey asked who here has ever been called a slut, she gave me singing lessons. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh my god, that's iconic. Wow. You've truly brushed with an icon, like literally. That's so cool. It's amazing. Wow. Dean Classic, you're a true gangsta with this live stream. Bravo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've literally been doing this for 2.5 hours. This is a long live stream. Yeah, it's a long live stream. Jammer Jammer. I'm peripherally related to many famous people. Yes, I know, very exciting. Well, you lead an exciting life, I guess. Patricia De Oza. I was already born. I was 2 months old when Whitney Houston interview with Diane Sawyer. Oh, wow. God. Wow, you were, like, fairly young then. I feel like I was maybe, like, 11 or 12 when that Diane Sawyer interview first came out. I remember kind of hearing whispers about it, but also, like, I didn't watch it live, and this was, like, before YouTube, and this was also before, like, DVR existed, so yeah, I was alive when Whitney Houston gave that iconic Diane Sawyer interview, but I didn't watch it live. But now, like, because of YouTube, I'm able to, like, relive the moment again and again and again. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe, like, there's still 12 people here watching. Man, that's incredible that there's lasted this long. Patricia De Oza, God, I feel old now. LOL. Shamiya 1500. It was cute that we had a cute classic like the original Freaky Friday, then a 2000s updated version. Nobody wants a 2018 version. It's going to be so ugly and weird. I probably won't be watching it either way, so I really don't care. But again, why? Why are we remaking Freaky Friday? Like, the Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan version, like, still holds up to this day. I don't think there's a need for a Freaky Friday remake. Yeah. Oh. Did the Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan hold a candle to the Jodie Foster one? I don't know. I never saw the Jodie Foster one, so I can't answer that. But I mean, hey, 10-year-old me was thoroughly entertained by the Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis one. So, yeah. Terry Fox, hey there, what did I miss? LOL. Hey Terry, you've missed like over 2.5 hours of live stream. But other than that, nothing much. Dean Classic, do you watch Collider movie trivia? I'm subscribed to the Collider movie channel, but I don't watch their Collider. Oh no, I don't watch their like Collider movie trivia videos. Oh no, I'm still here. Is it like blurring or delayed? Or oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I'm back. Do you watch Collider movie trivia? No, I don't. But I'm subscribed to the Collider movie YouTube channel. Patricia De Oza, at Dean Classic. By the way, I'm 15 years now and I'm from Manila, Philippines. Oh, hey, from the Philippines. I was in Manila several weeks ago. Like about more than several weeks ago. I was in Manila a month ago. A little over a month ago. Shami 1500. They were way different, in my opinion. The first film is much more innocent than the remake. Good to know. Shamiya 1500, not for me. I think you were asking, when I was asking if, blah, 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 if, the live stream was blurred. Dean Classic, Patricia De Oza, oh god, that's my cue, I guess, because I am 32. LOL. It's okay, it's okay. I don't think 32 is old. I'm gonna just keep telling myself that. I mean, I'm only 24, so I don't know. Sometimes there are moments where I'm like, God, I'm old, but then I'm like, you're not old, you're only 24. But then I'm like, but that's another topic for another day. Let's go back to like making me look more like Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. What else can I do? Oh, you know when like Whitney Houston is like about to perform Queen of the Night? This is like, people who are watching this live stream are probably like, what the hell was happening? This is what happens like 2.5 hours into the live stream. Start being delusional and thinking I can look like Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. No, I'm just gonna go for the iconic Whitney Houston on the plane. Oh, okay, right here, the way that this is like set. Oh my god. It's like Whitney reincarnated. Wow, this is amazing. This is probably what she felt like. Okay. Any new comments? None so far. Has anyone seen the Jermaine Jackson movie he did with Pia Zadora? Ooh, no. Oh, for me, I haven't. Shamia 1500, in hindsight, the way she had that scarf was iconic. LMAO. It truly was. I mean, like, Whitney must have put that herself. She must have put that together herself. Jammer Jammer, it looks wonderfully awful, complete with full soundtrack. Oh no. Did you guys know, though, that apparently, apparently, like, well, first of all, this is fact. Whitney Houston and, Jermaine Jackson did, like, 2 duets, I believe. I know she did, God, what is it? I can literally, like, look it up right now. Let me see. Let me see. Whitney Houston and Jermaine Jackson did 2 duets, and they were, they did the duet called, okay, so Whitney Houston and Jermaine Jackson did a song called If You Say My Eyes Are Beautiful, and then they also did another duet called let me look for it. Called, oh, they did 3. Okay, they did Nobody Loves Me Like You Do, which was on her debut album, and then they also did Take Good Care of My Heart. Anyway, so they did work together. But the reason why I bring up Jermaine, aside from the fact that you guys brought up Jermaine, is because supposedly this is all like rumors that like Whitney Houston and Jermaine had sort of like a little fling, and that's kind of what inspired the music video for Saving All My Love for You, to the point where like Whitney Houston like personally picked the guy in the video, and he kind of, I guess, looks like Jermaine Jackson did at the time. I don't see the resemblance, but that's what a lot of people say. And like that video, if you like weren't paying attention, is about like, it's like being sung from like the mistress's point of view. So I don't know if those rumors are true, but it's rumored that they had a little bit of a fling. Okay, Dean Classic. LOL, you look more like Rachel McAdams in The Notebook when they rode to the lake together. Wow, that's a compliment. I'll take that. I want to go for, like, more Whitney, though. Annie's World. Hello, Night Owl. Hello, Annie's World. Jammer Jammer. It's called Voyage of the Rock Aliens, and I've been trying to find it forever. No luck so far. I swear it actually exists and is not a weird dream I had. Wow, that sounds interesting. Patricia De Aza. What's your favorite song on Waiting to Exhale soundtrack? I mean, I love when Whitney, obviously, like, Shoop. I also really love, I mean, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? That's the moment. I really like, Toni Braxton's Let It Flow, and Brandy's, Sitting Up in My Room. That's such a jam. I also really like, that, God, what is that song? I need to look it up. Let's see. Waiting to Exhale. I always go back and listen to the same songs. So I really like, SWV's All Night Long, I really like. And I really like, and I Gave My Love to You by Sonia Marie. And The Count on Me with Whitney Houston and CeCe Winans is like pretty good too. Pretty good. Didn't Whitney have a Edward Basemore is asking, didn't Whitney have a girlfriend when she was with Bobby? Okay, so this is like kind of, I don't know, it's like never really confirmed if Whitney was like, you know, gay or if she was like bi, but it is rumored supposedly that she had a relationship with her, like, she worked with Robin Crawford, who was her, like, I guess, I don't know if I would call her personal secretary, but she worked for Whitney Houston. But like before she worked for Whitney, like they grew up as being friends. But in the Whitney Houston documentary called Whitney Can I Be Me, which you can find, I did a review on my channel, that movie basically kind of talks about those rumors, and they talk about how like Whitney was may or may not have had a relationship with Robin Crawford. So I don't know. It's not confirmed, but a lot of people like are saying that she did. I don't know. I don't know. Shamia 1500. OMG, just had to go watch the final Bodyguard scene. The fact she told the plane to stop in the middle of the runway. I cannot. I know, girl. It is so iconic. That's cinema. Patricia De Aza. I want to wear scarf hood like Rachel Marin in school. Go for it. I 100% support you. Zammer Jammer, I'm gonna start watching for you because I like your TV show reactions / reviews. That's what your fashion scarf made me think of. Did it give you like Joan Crawford vibes? But anyways, yeah, go ahead. Definitely watch the show. In general, guys, like the shows that I watch on my channel, like those are shows I would genuinely like recommend to people. And I'm not someone who's just going to like react and review to specific shows just because they're like popular shows to do. But yeah, highly recommend you watch Feud. I'm sure you'll really like it. Katie, Feud is a classic. Add Zammer Jammer, so good. Yeah, it's really good. Especially like I would say like my favorite episode was the Mommy Dearest episode. I think that's like episode 3. And I also really enjoyed the Oscars episode, which I believe was episode 5. And then I loved the finale. Oh my god, like you're gonna cry some sad tears. It's so sad. But it's like a good kind of sad because you're like, this is so good. Patricia De Aza, guy on Samolfi music video was really looked like Jermaine. I don't know what Samolfi is, but interesting. Shamia 1500. Ryan Murphy truly has an amazing track record. 2015 must have just been a bad year for him or something. LOL. Why? What came out in 2015? Was that the season finale of Glee? I don't know. Am I paused for you guys? I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay. I'm moving again. Zammer Jammer. I'm going to recommend Bates Motel again because Vera Farmiga is a May. Love her, and it's way more fun than you think given the subject matter. Yeah, I've actually watched a couple episodes of Bates Motel, but again, like I stopped watching because I think I just got busy during the time, but that's definitely a show I really want to get into. But yeah. Zammer Jammer first episode is pretty brutal though. Shamia 1500, 2015 was AHS Hotel. Oof. And Scream Queen season 2. Oof. Maybe it's because like Ryan Murphy was like mentally and emotionally invested in the amazingness that was People vs. O.J. Simpson that came out in 2016. Maybe that's why 2015 was a bad year for him. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least he didn't stay in that funk, right? Let's see. Now I look like, who do I look like now? Right. Man, it's not working. I wanted to look like Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they're like on the run, and they're on the run like promotional tour pictures. You know when they had like their little like thing, and it was like covering their face, and it was like it's kind of like this. And they were like on the run. Um, yeah. Terry Fox just started watching AMS. I think you mean AHS. Should I avoid specific seasons? Okay, Terry Fox, yeah, he meant AHS. I would suggest you avoid Hotel. Because, I mean, I would, and like, so maybe that's the fourth season and the fifth season. I would say those are probably like their weaker seasons, like in my personal opinion. Definitely start with one. I think you're gonna like two if you're like into like scary stuff. Three was like, I don't know like if plot wise three was like the strongest, but I really loved the world and the characters. Four I believe was Hotel. Whichever season Hotel was, I wouldn't watch that one. Like, I personally still haven't watched that one. Freak Show, it seemed a bit preachy, but it was okay. Sixth one was pretty cool, in my opinion, the Roanoke season. And then, the most recent season, what was it called? I forget. What was it called? Like oh god, dang! I watched this on my channel. I don't even remember what it was called. Wait, American Horror Story, season 7. Oh, Cult. Cult was pretty good too. Cult was pretty good. Yeah, maybe just avoid like the hotel season. Let's see. KD. LMAO base ski mask. See, Katie knows what I'm talking about. She knows my references. Shami 1500, Bates Motel. Oops. Bates Motel was such a good show. I'm glad all the actors have amazing follow-up roles too. Oh, I'm happy when that happens for people. Oh, God! Okay. All it takes. All it takes. I hope I got that right. Okay. Dean Classic, you are spectacular vision. Oh my gosh, Dean is just too nice to me. Zammer Jammer, I'm like a Jehovah's Witness for that show. Knock knock. Hello, ma'am. Can I just have a moment of your time to talk to you about the Bates Motel? Wow, they should have like hired you for publicity, Zammer Jammer. Patricia Day, did you listen to songs of BB and CC Winans? No, I don't listen to them. Shamia 1500, avoid hotel at all costs. Freak Show is good for a binge. Murder House is a good starter. Some like and hate Roanoke. Cult, Coven, and Asylum are top tier must watch seasons. Yeah, I pretty much like agree with what Shamia had to say. For sure. Yeah, hotel is meh. Freak Show, yeah, I think like Freak Show is better if you binge it, and I think that's why I was able to enjoy Freak Show more, because I remember just binging it once it got to Netflix. Murder House, I think that's a pretty good starter. That season scared me, but yeah, yeah, I'd say like Colton Coven and Asylum are like really really good, and I think yeah, like Shamia said, Roanoke is like it may be polarizing. I personally enjoyed it, but you may or may not. I don't know. It depends. Zammer Jammer. Actually, yes. The last season was such a bummer, though. I hear Vera Farmiga is going to be starring in a new Godzilla movie. Patricia De Aza. Samo Fee stands for saving all my love for you. Oh my god. I'm such a bad stan. Wow. Thanks for informing me, though, Patricia. Annie's World. I found Hotel to be the most perverted, yet it creeps me out how much reality is in AHS in general. Yeah, especially the most recent season has a lot of similarities to current reality here in America. Zammer Jammer, I need to watch AHS because I really like Sarah Paulson. Oh yeah, okay, like if I feel like if you really love Sarah Paulson, the season that you should start with is Asylum, because she's like like ever since Asylum, her like she's been like a major person, but like specifically in Asylum, Sarah Paulson's like the star of that season. And that's when I watched that season of American Horror Story, that's when I like first was like, wow, she's so good. So highly suggest if you haven't seen Horror Story, start with that season. She's in Murder House, which is the first season too, but like she's not really like a main person on it. Like I don't even think she's in all the episodes, but if you're a Sarah Paulson fan, watch Asylum. Shamia 1500 at Zammer Jammer, I believe so. She's doing a lot of movies now. Shamia 1500. Sarah Paulson truly has like 4 big time movies lined up. Who would have thought something O.J. Simpson did would give Sarah Paulson a career defining role? I know. All those people low-key should thank like O.J. Simpson. Patricia de Aza, okay, sorry. American Horror Story, American Crime Story is different. Yeah, those are two very different shows. Dean Classic. It would be terrible manners if I don't ask if you want to drink some water. It's been 2 hours or so. It's okay, Dean. I'm fine, but thank you for asking if I should drink water. It's okay. I feel like really awkward if I just like leave for 15 minutes. Like not 15, but if I like even leave the camera for like 5-10 minutes just to get water, because I would have to go to my kitchen to get the water. But yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Next time I do my live stream, so when I do my live stream this Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for any of you guys who want to join, I will make sure I'm sitting with a glass of water, so I don't get thirsty, and hopefully my nose won't be itchy at that time. Okay, Zammer Jammer. She is my hero. Even when she's in bad movies, she's never bad in them, like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Goals. Are we talking about Sarah Paulson? Because she is, like, amazing. Zammer Jammer, agreed. Sarah Paulson's one of my favorite working actresses right now. Really enjoy her work. Yeah. What time is it where, like, you guys are? Because it's, like, literally almost 1 a.m. And, I'm still fine. Oh, I want to, like, play music, but I'm scared if I play music, I'm gonna get copyrighted. Me. Dun 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 dun. Shamia 1500, Vera Farmiga, but Sarah is a legend as well. LOL, it's about to be 4 a.m. Zammer Jammer, almost 4 a.m. Daylight savings is today. Oh, F, is it today? Really? I thought it's on Sunday. Oh, well, over here in the United States, it says daylight savings time is on Sunday. Annie's World, 9:56 a.m. Oh, Annie, you're fine. You're supposed to be awake. Terry Fox, you're fine too. Nearly 9 a.m. Katie, almost 3 a.m. Dean Classic, 3:54 where I am. Raving insomniac over here. That's why there's quite a number of you on here, because you all have insomnia. It's okay. I have a bit of insomnia too. I'm still recovering over like my jet lag after having gone overseas. I like usually go to sleep at around like 5 or 6 a.m. So that's why. That's why I'm fine. Love comic book movies, or are you indifferent? I'm indifferent. I mean, I enjoy them like every now and then. Like, I mean, I liked Spider-Man Homecoming, and I also like obviously really enjoyed Black Panther, but I'm not like obsessed or passionate about it. So yeah. Okay, Zammer Jammer. I actually have narcolepsy. Oh, wow. Dang, how's that for you? I'll make up the sleep later no matter whether I want to or not. That's a nice skill. Or, are you really narcoleptic, or are you just saying that? I wish I could just, like, go to sleep wherever I was, because I would not be jet-lagged anymore, but... Terry Fox, how's the travel vlog coming along? It's coming. It's still taking a while, but... It's coming. It's coming. I hope it's going to be worthwhile for you guys. I'm still, like, in the process of, like, sifting through and making, like, notes of, like, oh, I like this part of the clip, or, oh, like, we don't need this clip here. It's going to be, like, there's going to be more than one. It's not going to be, like, one long vlog. There's going to be, like, different, I don't even know how many videos there's going to be, but there's going to be quite a number of them. But I'm not going to, like, start releasing them until they're all done, so then, like... It's not like I have to rush and be like, oh, this one's done. I have to really rush this next one because I need to have a video out by next week. It's once they're all done, that's when I'm going to start releasing them. And I'm also going to start releasing them once I, like, am in the process of, like, relaunching, like, the channel. Because I'm trying to, like, revamp it in some way. Yeah. Zammer Jammer. Yep, naps are a must-D classic. Can you moonwalk? Otherwise, we're taking your MJ pass. Dean, I danced for 17 years, and I'm a self-taught moonwalker, so, hell yeah, I can moonwalk. Patricia de Aza, did you see the New Edition Story TV movie? Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. Shimmy at 1500. Honestly, it's so late to where I'm 100% sure that I'm going to stay up and watch Jessica Jones season 2 when the stream ends. Ooh, well, you have fun with that, girl. Katie, now the scarf is giving me Queen Elizabeth in The Crown, lol. Ooh, yes, I love that. You know when Queen Elizabeth was like in the final episode when she was like outside and like there was like slow motion snow falling and she had that like stick. I don't have a stick here. She had that stick and she was just like, that's like what this look is giving you. I'm gonna literally look up Whitney Houston scarf Bodyguard and see if I can copy it. Okay, wait. Oh my god, it's giving me Whitney Houston Bodyguard scarf cut. Okay, you guys, I need to copy this. Where is it? Whitney Houston scarf. Oh no, it's gonna give me like Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston final scene Bodyguard. I just want a freaking picture of... Okay, I'm gonna see if I can copy it. Okay. She literally has like her bangs sticking out. Maybe like this part could be my bangs. She has like her bangs. No, I need to cover it all. Okay, she has her bangs like sticking out. And then it's like she's like this. She's like this. She's like, wait. Oh god, I'm so ridiculous. Okay, Shimmy 1500. I wish I would have gotten into The Crown. It sounds so good. You can get into The Crown. Like, literally watch it. I feel like maybe like the first episode of the first season you might be like, ugh, what's happening? But like, stick to it. It's so good. It's so good. Patricia de Aza, it's 5 p.m. here, Manila. Yeah, that's why, like, if I was still in the Philippines, I'd be perfectly fine. Katie, yes, I'm Scotland. Oh my god, you're in Scotland? Are you from Scotland, Katie? Annie's World, did you ever get nightmares from TV series you have watched? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, like, there was a time when my mom was really obsessed with, like, the John Benet Ramsey case, and, like, every now and then she would make me watch, like, those, like, true crime episodes about the John Benet Ramsey case. That's when I would, like, have nightmares, but, like, in regards to a specific TV series, no. Shami 1500, the only thing you were off on was where the scarf was. She had a little hair exposed. Well, you know what, Shami? I'm, like, literally trying my best, okay? Maybe this could be where my hair's exposed. Oh my god, I'm like so stupid. What the hell? I'm Whitney. I'm Rachel Marin. I'm Rachel Marin, bitch. Okay, wait. There's my hair. Oh my god, there it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, Zammer Jammer. If I was a British actor, I would have been terrified to play the Queen. If she hates your portrayal, there's no way you could tell me she wouldn't find a way to get you out somehow when you least suspect it. Yeah, that's quite the responsibility. Luckily for Claire Foy, she did a great job. Zammer Jammer, I used to watch Oz and had to stop because it was giving me messed up dreams. Way too dark. Whoa, dang, sorry, Zammer Jammer. Dean Classic, LOL, as if I couldn't love you more. Yeah. This is really making me so likable. Okay, Shamia 1500. No, but literally I had that exact reaction when I tried to watch the first episode. I couldn't get through it. I'll try to finish it one day. Yeah. Stick to it. Stick to it. It's so good. It's so good. Like, low-key, Princess Margaret, I think, is, like, my favorite character from the series, but, yeah. Sister Satan. Hey! Look at you guys bonding. Katie, hey Sister Satan. Hey Anthony. Patricia de Aza, please you join Whitney Houston fan group page in FB. Is there, or do you manage that, Patricia? Let me know. I want to join a Whitney Houston fan page. That sounds like fun. I want to have more Whitney Houston fan friends. So we could just, like, talk about Whitney all day long. Just like this. I wonder if Ryan is going to try to drag the Queen's skull in season 2 of Feud. I don't know. That'll be, I mean, it'll be interesting to see Ryan's interpretation of that whole thing. KD, Princess Margaret drinking and smoking during her pregnancy took me out. Princess Margaret in general took me out, but like low key, season 2, episode 4, Beryl, I think may have been my favorite episode of The Crown. Like, even though it's not even focused so much on Queen Elizabeth, it's literally the Margaret episode of The Crown. I was so here for that. I mean, like, even though my love for Tony, like, was gone by, like, episode, when was that, 8? I was just, like, episode 4 was, like, so in. Zammer Jammer, everyone smoking all the time, everywhere in any time period before 1990, accurate AF. Shamiya 1500, we all know the Queen set that poor girl up. Woo, Diana truly about to get her revenge through Ryan. I will be so interested to see, like, Ryan Murphy's interpretation of those events and then the Crown's interpretation of those events. Like, wow, what is that? What will that look like? Sister Staten, since when are you streaming? God, when did we start streaming, guys? I mean, like, we've been doing this for, like, 3 hours. 105... God. Yo, we've literally been streaming for 3 hours. Okay, so if it's like 1:05, we started at like 10:05 p.m. We've been live streaming quite a bit. KD, yes, when she wrote with the diamond on the mirror. Yeah, that was, oh God, it was such a good episode. And then like, the music that they used in that particular episode was just, like, so good. Especially the flamingos. I Only Have Eyes for You that they used in the trailer for season 2. So good. So good. Okay. Patricia Day also, did you also see the Whitney TV movie who directed by Angela Bassett? Yes, I did. I did watch it. I actually rewatched that, like, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I think I enjoyed it more when I didn't know too much about Whitney Houston, but now that I've definitely learned more about Whitney, in watching it back, I was like, this isn't that good. But you know what? Honestly, it's not as bad as the Flex Alexander TV movie about Michael Jackson. That was pretty bad. Annie's World. Sometimes I wonder what's going on in some screenwriters' heads. The stuff they come up with. Yeah. I don't know. That's why they're writers. They just make up crazy stuff. Shamiya 1500. I remember the first or second live stream you did and you said an hour was too long. How the times have changed, LMAO. I feel like this is like a special edition live stream because I don't think I've ever live streamed for this long. Like, this is literally 3 hours. And for those of you who have been here since the beginning of this live stream, like, kudos for you. But, yeah. Oh, how the times have changed. Usually, though, I will stick to the stream being just an hour. But, I don't know. I'm in a special mood. Patricia De Aza. Ease down, ease down, ease down on the road. A classic from The Wiz. Dean Classic. Yeah, Flex playing Michael was next level cringe. Yeah, that was, like, insulting, especially considering that Michael Jackson was alive, during, blah, 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 during, when that movie first aired. It's like, wow, that's insulting. Patricia Day also said, go join in Whitney Warrior and Whitney Snippet in Facebook. Oh my god, okay, like, low-key, I think the Whitney fan community needs to rethink, like, I get why you guys call yourselves, like, Nippians, but also, like, I don't know, it's just, like, from an outsider perspective, I also think that's kind of, like, we need to reconsider the name Nippian. I don't know. I'm just, like, can we think of something else? We should, like, make this, like, a collective decision. Zammer Jammer, Annie's World. The answer is drugs and daddy issues. That was dark. Okay, let's see. Whitney's Warrior? Whitney's oops. Warriors. Oh goodness. I think I see it on Facebook here. is it? Okay, well, anyways, let's see. Patricia de Aza. Is Princess Diana will be coming the crown? Yeah, I think she's gonna not be in it. I don't think Princess Diana's gonna be in the 3rd season, but I think she's gonna be in the 4th season. Zammer Jammer going off on many, many TV shows. Yeah, Zammer Jammer, you're going in on them, girl. Going in on those TV shows. Okay. Still have 11 people watching. That's fairly impressive. Let's see. I wish there was like a way we can like collectively watch a video at the same time. Annie's World, LOL brutal, but I can't say it might not be true either. You never know. You never know. Let's see here. I hope I'm not, like, delaying. Okay, let's see. I see a question here. It says, from Sister Satan, which TV shows do you dislike most? That's hard. I mean, for me, like, I didn't like Scream Queens. Like, I watched the 1st season in full, and then I remember trying to get into the 2nd season, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't think there's many shows that I, like, don't like. I think I genuinely watch shows that I like. That's the thing. I don't think there's not that many where I'm like, where I will just watch it because I know I'm not gonna like it. You know what I mean? I'll say Scream Queens. Dean Classic. I can't get over the scarf. The only thing missing is driving a convertible with the wind blowing. Yeah, if only I had that. Shamiya 1500. Was that Whitney Brandy fairy godmother movie a decom? No, I don't think it was. Like, I think it was like I know it was a TV movie, but I don't think it was like necessarily categorized as a Disney Channel original movie. Like, I think it was like its own special made for TV movie from Disney, but it wasn't a Disney Channel original movie, if that makes any sense. Zammer Jammer, if all film school dude bros actually had healthy relationships with their dads and didn't get dumped first year of college, like 65% of all movies and TV shows would just cease to exist. Dang, that's brutal. Sister Satan shook. I love the first season of Scream Queens, but yeah, season 2 is absolute trash. Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, it's like, that's like a hard question for me to answer, but I'm just saying Scream Queens off the top of my head. I didn't, like, love Scream Queen season 1, but I was able to get through it. But, yeah, I tried getting into season 2, and I couldn't even finish the first episode. Shamiya 1500. Oh, I wonder if it was, like, an ABC or Fox original. They used to do a lot of those. I think it was, like, an ABC original. I think it genuinely was an ABC original. Like, back when ABC, like, the network used to have movies, like, special movies on Sundays. I think it was one of those. Dean Classic. Pick a single frame from San Junipero that you love the most. Woo! God. Wow, that's a hard one. Pick a single frame. Maybe, like, I love when Kelly and Yorkie are, when they're at the bar in Tucker's for the first time. And they're, like, kind of, it's like the two of them sitting at the bar, and then there's, like, that Tucker sign in the middle. I like that. I mean, of course, when they're outside in the rain, like, near sitting in front of, like, the brick wall. I mean, because that's just, like, beautifully framed, and, like, the rain is, like, really, really cool. I'm trying to think, too. I mean, like, after Yorkie passes over and she's sitting on the beach and she's like has her feet in the sand and she's just like sitting there. I mean, that's a beautiful shot too. Yeah, I'll say those. Shamiya 1500. I almost asked San Junipero versus Hang the DJ, but I already know your answer, LMAO. Yeah, I'm more of a San Junipero fan. I just think there was more depth to that season. I mean, to that episode. Annie's World. Better Than Me. If I started a season, I want to get at least through the half of it, and then I usually stay till the end. Dean Classic. Yeah, I love that beach scene. Sister Satan, do you consider watching HS Hotel one day? If so, will you record it? Just wondering. Haha. I mean, maybe if I'm like really bored. I don't know. I don't know though if it's like worth me like recording, because I just think there's so many new shows coming out now that I don't know if it's worth going back and watching an old show, if that makes any sense. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe in the future if I'm like really bored. Let's see. Da, da, da. I have Run to You by Whitney Houston stuck in my head. Because I've been wearing the freaking scarf, that's why. Let's see. Before this live stream, I was actually watching this video called Times Whitney Houston Slayed Vocals While Sitting Down. Because I'm dumb. Shami 1500. I mean, HS Hotel did have its moments because it's truly gorgeous, but I mean, those moments are few and far between. Wow, that's a bit of a read, Shamia. Yeah, I don't know. And like the thing with like Hotel 2 is like the individual episodes for Hotel are so effing long. Like for me as someone, like whenever I get to like record and review an episode of TV, as soon as I see that the episode is long, like that immediately makes me like, oh god, like it makes me want to do it even less, because I'm like, damn, this is gonna be so hard to friggin' edit. So yeah. Let's see. George Zagagianis. Oh, hello. What I miss? You didn't miss much, George. Just 3 hours of me talking. Annie's World. What was the last episode that made you go WTF? YO? Wow. Probably, I will the one that gave me the biggest WTF was probably Hang the DJ Black Mirror episode in season 4. Episode 4. Like, I was real shocked. Real shocked. Shami 1500, I need Ryan to officially retcon It's So Legend Queenie can return for the Murder House Coven crossover. Agreed. I'm so excited for that season. I don't know if you guys can hear the train, but the train is currently passing. The infamous train. Patricia De Aza, Whitney Houston Rockets is rhyme like NBA Team Houston Rockets, but all Whitney Houston fans prefer to call Nippian. Yeah, I still think we should rethink that, guys. Okay, Dean Classic. Did you ever watch Mad Men? It's my all-time favorite show. I watched like maybe like the first 2 episodes and then I stopped, but I didn't stop because I didn't like it. I just stopped because I just like got too busy. But that's definitely a show I want to go back and like binge, because I think that's just like a show that, I don't know, it's like important to watch because it was just one of those like great TV shows. So yeah. Terry Fox. People really seem to hate AHS Hotel, lol. Yeah, so definitely don't start with that season, Terry. George Zagagianis. I didn't like Hotel either. It was just too much. Annie's World at Terry Fox. I don't hate it, but then again, I rarely hate or dislike anything TV movie stuff. Sister Satan. Yeah. Oh wait, I skipped something. Okay, Patricia De Aza. Did you watch The Last Man on Earth, Whitney Houston, We Have a Problem episode? No, I did not. I need to like look that up. That sounds really funny. Sister Satan, yeah, especially because people thought Lady Gaga was replacing Jessica, but I personally thought she did great, especially in the second half of the season. At Terry Fox. Shamia 1500, I have a strong hate in my heart for Hotel because it was such a wasted concept. Yeah, I didn't watch Hotel, so I can't really like judge Hotel, but I can honestly say I tried getting through the first episode and I couldn't because I was just like, what is happening? So I don't know, maybe if I try again, it'll be better, but yeah. George Zagagianis, Lady Gaga was good though. Kinda sad she didn't get any big role in Roanoke. Yeah, on Roanoke, she does make an appearance, but it's like very short-lived, and I don't even like think she has actual lines. Or maybe she does, but it's just like, what? So, yeah. Um, Last Man on Earth, Whitney Houston, we have a problem? What is that? The Last Man on Earth, Whitney Houston. What's that? I'm literally like, I just like YouTubed it. Okay, I'm gonna lower the volume. What is... Okay, well, I'm not gonna watch it right now. That's weird. Okay, anyways. Blue. Okay. Okay, anyways. Let's see. Any comments? Blue. Okay. No comments. Wow, this has genuinely been the longest live stream, like, of my entire life. How long have we been doing this? Wow, this 200 divided by 60. I can't do math off the top of my head. 200 divided by 60. I can't do math off the top of my head. I'm confused. Wait, what? Oh. We've been doing this for 3 hours. I feel like, never mind, I was gonna say something. It's okay. It's been great, though. You're a G. Thanks, Dean. So supportive. Again, I guess I'll save this stream because I've been doing it for so long. I don't think anyone will ever watch this back, like, the full thing, because it's so long, but I'll just have it, because, I mean, we did it, but... Hey, my nose isn't itchy anymore. I think it's been a while since I scratched my nose. Watch me, like, start scratching my nose, because then I'm gonna, like, think about it too much. Okay, OMG, I thought that was feedback from my device. I was so shook, LOL. No, I had the sound on my computer for a second, and that's why you heard, like, feedback, feedback. Oh, that's a Janet Jackson song, by the way. Boop-a-doo, bloop-a-doo. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. All right. Well, you guys, let's go for 8 more minutes. So it'll be 1:30 where I am. I don't know where you all are, but let's go for 8 more minutes. Because I think I'm beginning to lose some steam here. And like Dean pointed out maybe 45 minutes ago, I need some water. So, but Sister Satan, it's 10 a.m. here. Haha. Wow. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I hope you guys, though, like, a little bit of a plug. I know I don't have anything on Instagram, but I hope you guys start following me on Instagram, because I will be posting pictures very soon, because I'm definitely going to try and be more active on Instagram this upcoming year, so watch out for that. I'm cracking my back. Dean Classic, 4:21 in Atlanta. Alright, so I'll finish at 4:30 a.m. Atlanta time. 1:30 a.m. time in America, in California. Should I get myself an American Crime Story when I ever have time for a new one? Yeah, definitely get into American Crime Story. I would say, though, still start with Season 1, even though you really don't have to watch it in any order. Season 1 and Season 2 are very different from one another, but yeah. Start with Season 1. What are your upcoming TV show reaction reviews? Well, right now I'm doing American Crime Story. And then I don't know if the next one will be Handmaid's Tale, because I think I have a little bit of a gap. So I don't know if I'm going to take a couple weeks break with Fan Reaction Fridays. Or if I'll see if I can, like, fit another show in. But, I don't know. We'll see. But something that I will be doing, though, is, like, I'm only from now on ever going to react to one show at a time, because again, like, for me, with this YouTube channel, it's not, I don't want to just make reaction and review videos. Like, I personally think, like, I can make other types of videos, and I don't want to be too consumed in just making reaction and review videos, so that's why I will only be limiting it to one show at a time. So I don't really know. It's hard for me to say. I mean, some people have been wanting me to watch this show called Inside Number 9, and I heard that that show only has like that show only has like 30-minute episodes, so we'll see. We'll see if I could fit that in. Shamiya 1500. I'm excited for the playlist idea. Me too. I'm excited. It'll be interesting. I hope you guys like don't judge me too harshly on my playlist like ideas. I think I'll probably make like my favorite Michael Jackson song playlist, or like my favorite Beyonce song playlist. Or wait, I think I may have had that. No, I had an underrated. On, if you follow me on Spotify, it's at INN_MHO. You'll see that I made like underrated Beyonce fave playlist. I'm pretty sure that's there. But yeah, I'm probably gonna make my favorite Beyonce songs playlist, my favorite Prince songs playlist, my favorite Whitney Houston songs playlist, my favorite Janet songs playlist, and my favorite Stevie songs playlist. And then I'll maybe make like playlists from my middle school years. I don't know. We'll see. Uh, Sister Satan, that's a great idea. What other content do you want to upload? Well, I'm gonna be making a formal video about this, but like low-key probably no one will ever watch this whole live stream again, so it's not like I'm really spoiling anything, and there's only like 14 of you watching. So another series that I have in mind is, because for me, when I like kind of like officially revamp my channel, my plan, I don't know if I can do this first per se, but ideally I would like to have content coming out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Monday is going to be more of like personal sort of lifestyle-y sort of content, and then Wednesday is going to be the more pop culture entertainment oriented content, and then Friday will be fan reaction Friday videos. So as far as like my Monday videos are concerned, I'm probably gonna, I know upcoming video I want to make is I want to film myself doing the Myers-Briggs test to see like what personality traits I fall under. I want to take the sorting Harry Potter, like sorting myself into a Harry Potter house quiz. I also I have a cousin who was actually here on the stream earlier, and I want we're planning on doing collaboration videos that are more like fashion oriented. So be excited for those videos because she has her own YouTube channel as well. And then for Wednesday, expect to see Albums Revisited making a comeback. So that's a series where I review albums from the past. So like expect lots of Michael and Prince and Whitney and Janet and Stevie there. I'm also going to be doing a new series called what was I naming it? It's like called Cancel or Renew. Okay, the new series is going to be called... Okay. Wait, I think I'm back. Okay. I hope you guys, I didn't talk while I was offline. So there's going to be a new show that I'm going to do called Cancel or Renew. And in that show, in that series, I basically watch the entire first season of a new show off camera. And then in the series on YouTube that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to like basically kind of be doing a very short review of the series and what I thought, and then at the very end I'm gonna give my opinion if I think it's worth renewing or if I think it's worth canceling. So that's something that'll probably be on a Wednesday along with Albums Revisited. And then I'm gonna try and see if I could do some video essays. And then also, you know, the playlist idea, I want to do that. And maybe first impressions of an album that I've never listened to, or first impressions of a new song that has recently come out. I want to do that. And then also I'm trying to come up with an idea that implements music video analysis. So yeah, that's what I have planned for the channel, basically. And then on Mondays too, once the travel vlogs are done, the travel vlogs will be uploaded like every Monday. And then I'm also thinking of getting into doing like monthly favorites. I know that's like a very typical YouTuber-y thing, but I want to get into like monthly favorites videos. So yeah, that's basically my plan. Those are all the videos I have in mind. Shami 1500, OMG, if would you mind makes it to the Janet Jackson playlist, I'm going to live. You never know. Patricia De Aza, what's your reaction to Fergie National Anthem performance in NBA All-Star? Whew, just listen to the Whitney Houston one, girl. Just listen to the Whitney Houston one to exercise you out of all that negative mojo. Shamia 1500, OMG, please do 7 seconds. It's a Netflix show and so great. Yeah, my dad actually said that show's really, really good. So I'll definitely, like, watch that show off camera and then give my review on it. Zammer Jammer, love your reaction review videos. Not only are they on series that most others don't cover, but most reactions put very little thought into their reviews. It's just, that was scary. That was dumb. Yeah, I really make an effort to try and do my best in giving, like, good thoughts while doing my Fan Reaction Friday videos. So glad you appreciated Zammer Jammer, because I do take a lot of, like, put a lot of thought and effort into that. Katie, yes, for all this new content. Super creative. Love it. Thanks, girl. Now it's just a matter of making it happen. But yeah, I'm going to make a formal video again explaining the new content that will be coming out. But it's going to be like once a couple of those videos are done. So I know that they're done. But yeah, that's the plan. Sister Satan, I'm so ready for your new content. Thanks, so am I. And again, like once those new videos start, like, are starting to like come out on my YouTube channel, that's when I'm also gonna start posting more pictures on Instagram, so it's like kind of happening at the same time. So yeah. Terry Fox, looking forward to seeing the growth of this channel and all your new ideas. Thanks, Terry. One thing I will say is that you guys are like so freaking like supportive of this channel and me, and I just really want to take the time, at least right now, to the 11 people watching, to just say thank you for just being supportive of me and the videos that I want to make, because I know that especially for like the bigger channels, and especially if you're used to doing, if your channel is just like used to doing like one particular type of video. I know some people are like, no, we don't like that, we just want one particular type of video. I'm very appreciative that you guys let me explore and do different kinds of videos, so thank you for your loyalty. I appreciate loyalty as a Leo, because that's just something that Leos love. When I say Leo, I'm obviously talking about like a zodiac sign. I was born August 11th, so I'm a Leo. You know who's also a Leo? Viola Davis, also born on August 11th, is a fellow Leo. Angela Bassett, I believe she was born like August 15th or 16th. She's a Leo. Whitney Houston, born August 9th, was a Leo. I believe Barack Obama is a Leo. I think he was born like August 4th. So, good. I'm in good company. Alec Takes gave me a smiley face. I think I read this already, but Terry Fox, looking forward to seeing the growth of this channel and all your new ideas. And Dean Classic, you are loved. Thanks. So thanks, you guys. Wally featuring RM featuring Wally, which way you prefer? Just a little critical rap collab, which in my opinion is to less known if you're bored or mad at the world, LOL. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never heard of... Are you talking about like Wale? I think I've heard of Wale, but never heard of that song. Patricia De Oz's Greatest Love of All was your graduation song in elementary school. No, Greatest Love of All was not my graduation song in elementary school. I don't remember what my graduation song was in elementary school, but I know it was not that, because I definitely would have remembered that. But The Greatest Love of All was my cousin's graduation song, and I specifically remember thinking, wow, this is like insulting to Whitney Houston. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, and I think like I remember tweeting like, this is such an insult to Whitney Houston's legacy when my cousin graduated from middle school because their entire class could not sing. And then for them to sing that particular Whitney song, I was like, God help us. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, 5 more minutes, and then I'll be gone. Oh God, I'm so thirsty. But 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Come on. She's a champ. She's a champ. She's a champ. Let's see. You got this, Dean Classic. Thank you, Dean, once again for being so supportive. Let's see. Okay, speed round, guys. Ask me any questions that you want. Yes, you are. Smiley face. You guys are just like too freaking nice. Jeez. Sister Satan, when's your next live stream? This Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, really soon. This Sunday again, if you want to join, and if you can join, I'm going to be live streaming at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, hopefully you can join and we'll just talk some more. I'm for sure it will not be like 3 hours long because, yeah, I don't think it's going to be 3 hours long. What's your spirit animal? I don't know. I don't know. A monkey? I don't know. I like monkeys. Hey, Michael Jackson had a monkey. Bubbles. Bubbles is my spirit animal. Dean Classic, favorite color? Mine's teal now, in general, black. I really love the, color purple. Like the color, not like the actual movie. I've just never seen the movie, so I can't say if I like it, but I like the color purple. Zammer Jammer, mine is Keanu Reeves. That's a great spirit animal to have. Keanu Reeves. Doop, doop, doop. Okay. Also, because I haven't had, I probably am gonna go to bed after this, so I won't be reacting and reviewing American Crime Story, like filming, so that video is gonna be a little delayed. Sorry about that, because actually on Wednesday, my house had like, we lost internet connection, so I wasn't able to like watch it, and then on Thursday was my mom's birthday, and then today we were still celebrating, so I just like genuinely had no time to watch it. Dean Classic, ever seen the MJ documentary with him chilling in a tree? Oh God, are you talking about the Living with Michael Jackson, Martin Bashir documentary? Yeah, I saw that. That was, oh God, that was traumatic. As a young Michael Jackson fan at the time, to watch that was traumatic, but the tree part was pretty comical. Zammer Jammer, hey, he saved the world as Ted, he saved humanity as Neo, he saved a bus full of commuters, he is magic. Yeah, that he is. I mean, what a resume. What a resume. Shamia 1500, wow, OMG. Okay, I'm literally slowly being taken over by sleepiness, lol, literally about to eat a cookie for an energy boost. Yeah, low-key, I don't know if you can tell, but like, my eyes, I'm kind of getting like sleepy too, but yeah, 2 more minutes, girl, and then we're done. Sister Satan, I haven't watched the new episode either yet. Had a super important exam on Thursday and probably gonna watch today. Cool. Okay, so both of us are a little behind. No worries. Dean Classic, I love Keanu. You won't find a more humble guy. Oh, that's so nice. I don't know him like that, so I can't speak on that, but yeah. I also like, okay, another idea I really want to do, I'm trying to think of how I could like implement like live concert performances of my favorite artists on the channel. And again, I don't want to just like simply react to it, so I don't know how I could implement that onto my channel. So if you guys have like any ideas of how I can do that, will be greatly appreciated. Dean Classic, we hang all the time. Wow, are you like serious? Annie's World, good night, good rest night. Zammer Jammer, right? And he's basically got 13 different ethnicities running through his veins. Wow, Keanu Reeves. We have a big Keanu Reeves following in the live chat right now. Doop 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 doop. Wow. All right, guys. So it is 1:40 a.m. and we have genuinely been doing this for 4 hours, according to YouTube. So with that, I'm gonna read Zammer Jammer's last comment. At Dean Classic, cool. Tell him Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is my favorite movie. Seriously, 10 out of 10. Ha ha ha, I'll tell him. Wow, Dean. Tell Keanu Reeves, like, keep it up. But with that, with Keanu Reeves' blessing, I'm gonna end the live stream here. So I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream. This was one long ass stream. I'm going to save this stream for anyone who wants to rewatch it for some odd reason. And if you guys are interested in joining the live stream, this Sunday, it's going to happen. It's going to be at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join us. We will talk some more and hang out. So, all right, I'm going to end it here. Let's read some last comments. Let's see. Sister Satan, good night. Sleep well. Zammer Jammer, at Dean Classic. You can also tell him I'll have his babies. I mean, just in case it comes up. Dean Classic, this was great. Love you much. Giving you ridiculous air high five. Don't leave me hanging. Look at that. There you go. George Zagagiannis, Kiana is so attractive, by the way. Terry Fox, I'll make sure to catch up on the first 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah, you just do that, Terry. Dean Classic, I got you. KD, see y'all Sunday. See you Sunday. Zammer Jammer at Dean Classic, this uterus isn't going to impregnate itself. And with that, we will end the live stream. Okay, bye guys. Oh, wait. Oh, remember 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this Sunday. Okay, bye. I'll leave it in the comment section too, just in case, once this video is done updating, done processing. But okay, bye.